Chapter 8:17. You're really arrogant. Qi Mufeng snorted and said slowly, rumor has it that you've killed a saint-level gold-devouring bug? You should be strong enough. I, Qi Mufeng, challenge you. Challenge me? Su Chen was stunned for a moment. Then, he looked at Qi Mufeng again and smiled contemptuously. Are you worthy? These words fell on Qi Mufeng's ears like needles. Gulp. Qi Mufeng swallowed hard, his face turning red and white. Su Chen, even if you don't want to fight with my second brother, you don't have to humiliate him at all, right? Qi Muyu said angrily. Qi Mufeng didn't have any bad intentions when he challenged Su Chen. It was just an exchange of pointers between powerhouses. But Su Chen didn't give him any face and even took the opportunity to humiliate him. It was really hateful. I asked you to come. You're the one who made a mistake. How can you blame me? Su Chen snorted with a sullen face. Qi Muyu even put on a posture of denouncing him. Did he think he had a big face? Su Chen wouldn't tolerate him. Qi Muyu was so angry that the corners of his mouth twitched and he almost fainted. Qi Mufeng took a deep breath and suppressed the anger in his heart. Su Chen, if you don't dare to accept my challenge, just say it. There's no need to mock me. Provoke me? Su Chen sneered in his heart. This kind of childish provocation was useless to him. But what he couldn't figure out was that Qi Muyu should be very clear about his strength. Then why did Qi Mufeng still dare to challenge him? What's your cultivation? Su Chen thought for a moment and asked. Level 1 saint level. Qi Mufeng said proudly. Sure enough. Su Chen muttered to himself. Since Qi Mufeng dared to challenge him even after knowing that he could kill the sage-class gold-devouring beetles, he suspected that Qi Mufeng was a sage-class expert. Moreover, judging from Qi Mufeng's confident look, it was very likely that he was a powerhouse who far surpassed his peers. When Wu Yazi and the others learned that Qi Mufeng had screamed at a saint, their expressions changed. Indeed, there's always someone better than you out there. Shang Caili clicked her tongue and sighed. Qi Mufeng looked like he was in his 20s. For him to become a saint at such a young age, his cultivation talent was comparable to Su Chen's. Are you afraid now that you know that I'm a saint? Seeing that Su Chen did not speak for a long time, Qi Mufeng provoked. Su Chen pursed his lips and said indifferently, I'm indeed afraid. I'm afraid that I'll accidentally kill you. Since Qi Mufeng wanted to humiliate himself, he might as well fulfill his wish. Qi Mufeng was not angry, but happy. He stared at Su Chen and said, so you accept my challenge? I can accept, but I'll have to add some stakes, Su Chen said with a smile. There was no practical meaning in teaching Qi Mufeng a lesson. He might as well take the opportunity to get some benefits. What do you want to bet? Qi Mufeng said indifferently. To him, as long as he could fight with Su Chen, even if he had to pay a little reward, it did not matter. Ordinary things don't catch my eye. Su Chen muttered thoughtfully, then said, 40 level, 10 energy stones will do. Qi Muyu owed her 60 level, 10 energy stones. If she won another 40, it would be just enough to make it a round number. There's no need to bet so big, right? Qi Mufeng clicked his tongue. 40 level, 10 energy stones was an astronomical figure to him. If he lost, where would he get more? You don't even have the guts to do that, and you still dare to challenge me? Su Chen mocked. Qi Mufeng gritted his teeth. Just as he was about to reply, Qi Muyu interrupted, second brother, let's not compete with him. Chapter 8:18. Qi Muyu had suffered a great loss at the hands of Su Chen. Su Chen had extorted a saint-level puppet, a bottle of primary life fluid, and 60 level, 10 energy stones. Since Su Chen dared to make such a request, he must be confident in winning. Qi Mufeng might be a saint level, but his cultivation would be suppressed on the continent. He might not be Su Chen's match. Qi Muyu did not want to see Qi Mufeng suffer a loss, so he tried his best to stop him. Hearing this, Qi Mufeng hesitated. It was rare to meet someone as strong as Su Chen. To be honest, he did not want to miss this opportunity to spar. However, 40 level, 10 energy stones were also a problem for him. After thinking for a while, he said, I don't have any level 10 energy stones, but I can use a piece of information as a replacement. Information? What information could replace 40 level 10 energy stones? Tell me about it, Su Chen said calmly. There was no harm in listening. If it was not valuable, he could reject it. He would not lose anything. Qi Mufeng did not beat around the bush. He said directly, I know the whereabouts of a saint-level puppet. It's similar to the one you have. A saint-level puppet? It should be from the machine race. If it was a complete machine race puppet, it would be worth 40 level, 10 energy stones. The key was only a piece of information. He did not know if the puppet was complete. Thus, its value would be greatly reduced. Su Chen thought for a while and shook his head. Your information is too worthless. It's not worth my time. I have another piece of information. Qi Mufeng gritted his teeth and seemed to be struggling. Su Chen signaled Qi Mufeng to continue. In a secret realm of the elves, there is a spring of life. I can tell you the exact location, Qi Mufeng said softly. Spring of life? Su Chen frowned and muttered. This was the first time he had heard of the spring of life, so he didn't know what it was. However, he could also imagine that something linked to life wouldn't be too bad. On the side, Wu Yazi's expression changed. He whispered to Su Chen, agree. Su Chen was slightly surprised and asked, Senior, you know about the spring of life? Wu Yazi explained, the effect of the spring of life is the same as the primary life liquid. Moreover, it has the additional effect of accelerating the growth of spiritual plants. Hiss. Su Chen took a deep breath and almost shouted out in excitement. Accelerating the growth of spirit plants was too important to him. There were many demon plants and holy items in the plant dimension, but they were too old. Even with the time accelerator, he couldn't harvest them in a short period of time. It could be said that he urgently needed something that could accelerate the growth of spirit plants. Su Chen coughed softly and said without batting an eyelid, these two pieces of information added together are somewhat valuable. Let's make it worth 20 level 10 energy stones. What a big appetite. Wu Yazi clicked his tongue. He knew that Su Chen had Qi Mufeng in his grasp and was determined to make Qi Mufeng sell everything he had. I don't have 20 level 10 energy stones. Qi Mufeng laughed bitterly. It's okay. I'll owe you for now. Anyway, your sister still owes me 60 energy stones. I'll collect them when I have time, Su Chen said casually. Qi Mufeng stared blankly at Su Chen, speechless for a moment. From Su Chen's tone, it was as if he had him in his grasp. However, he was still a saint-level expert. How could he be looked down on so much? Do you agree or not? Su Chen was a bit impatient. He could sense that Qi Mufeng was a martial arts fanatic and wouldn't miss the opportunity to spar with him. Chapter 8:19. I agree. Qi Mufeng gritted his teeth and said. Su Chen was overjoyed and could not wait to say, then let's go out of the city and exchange pointers. Private fights were not allowed in Moonshine City, especially between high-level cultivators. He did not want to break the rules here. Wait a minute, I have 2 requests. Qi Mufeng interrupted. 2 more requests. Su Chen was slightly displeased, but he still said patiently, tell me. Qi Mufeng cleared his throat and said solemnly, first, if I win, you don't have to give me energy stones. Just give me back the saint-level puppet and the life original fluid. Second, if you can beat me, I will tell you the location of the 2 secret realms, but I have to go with you. Okay. Su Chen did not hesitate at all. It was absolutely impossible for Qi Mufeng to defeat him, so these things would still belong to him. As for going to the secret realms together, it would also be beneficial for him. At least, it could prove that these 2 secret realms really existed. Seeing Su Chen's reply so quickly, Qi Muyu could not help but begin to worry. A person's reputation was like a tree's shadow. It was rumored that all the saint-level experts of the human race had joined forces to suppress Su Chen, but they could not do anything to Su Chen. It could be seen how terrible Su Chen was in the end. She could even imagine that Su Chen was simply an invincible existence in the human race. If she wanted to deal with Su Chen, perhaps she could only do it in the void. And Qi Mufeng insisted on exchanging pointers with Su Chen. It was very likely that he had fallen into Su Chen's scheme. But things had come to this point, and she was powerless to stop it. She could only sigh faintly. Later, Su Chen's group quickly left Moonshine City. It took them an hour to find a secluded place to stop. Because it was a duel between level 10 experts, the damage caused was unimaginable. The cultivation of Tan Lin and the others was too weak. Su Chen was worried that they would be affected, so he put them into the chaos space. Su Chen, swords have no eyes. Please forgive me if I hurt you. Before making a move, Qi Mufeng reminded him. Su Chen could feel that these words were not arrogant, but really meant well. However, even if he knew this, he was still unwilling to listen. Because in the continent, no one could defeat him. Qi Mufeng obviously hadn't realized this, so he decided to teach Qi Mufeng a lesson. Once I make a move, it's easy for me to lose control. If you feel that you can't handle it, you must admit defeat immediately. Don't try to be brave, or else you might lose your life, Su Chen said seriously. How arrogant. Qi Mufeng clicked his tongue and stopped arguing with Su Chen. While the atmosphere on the field was tense, Wu Yazi and the others gathered together and began to block the way. I bet that Su Chen can defeat Qi Mufeng in less than 2 minutes. Yuqi Jingyang said confidently. Qi Mufeng is a sage after all. I bet that he can last for 3 minutes, Shang Xili said with some reservations. I think 2 minutes, Li Kueyang agreed. 2 minutes and 20 seconds, Nan Lichuan said firmly. After the four of them finished speaking, they all looked at Wu Yazi. You guys are underestimating Su Chen. I bet that Su Chen can defeat Qi Mufeng in less than a minute, Wu Yazi said confidently. Since they didn't try to cover up their conversation, Qi Mufeng and the other two could clearly hear what they were saying. These guys are too despicable. Qi Muxue was furious and cursed in her heart. Defeating a saint-level powerhouse in less than a minute? The thoughts of Wu Yazi and the others were simply deranged. Chapter 820. Qi Mufeng's face was gloomy, and his expression was ugly to the extreme. Being looked down upon in front of him made him feel extremely humiliated. These guys are too much. Su Chen sighed, and turned to Qi Mufeng, saying, They're just telling the truth, don't mind them. Qi Mufeng's expression froze. Telling the truth? Don't mind? How could he have the nerve to say that? Qi Mufeng felt like he had been dealt a critical blow, and could not recover for a long time. Alright, let's hurry up. Su Chen reminded. Qi Mufeng took a deep breath, and forced himself to be alert. Then let's begin. If he continued to talk to Su Chen, he would be angered to death. As soon as he finished speaking, he charged fiercely at Su Chen, vowing to defeat Su Chen in the shortest time possible to prove himself. Qi Mufeng was a sage, and his reputation was not undeserved. He rushed in front of Su Chen, raised his hand, and smashed down with a punch. However, there was a dazzling starlight on his fist, and it carried with it the power to cut through space. Still interesting. Su Chen commented, and then released his mind power. Sizzle, in a violent friction sound, the mind power was torn apart by the dazzling starlight, and it only served to block it for a very short period of time. For Su Chen, this short buffer was enough. Just as Qi Mufeng's punch was about to hit him, a faint golden light appeared on his palm, and then he grabbed forward. There was a muffled bang. Qi Mufeng's fist was firmly caught, and he could not move. Your defense. Before Qi Mufeng could say anything, he suddenly felt an extremely cold chill coming towards him. Even the dazzling starlight on his fist dimmed under the attack of the chill. Oh no. Qi Mufeng was shocked. Su Chen's ice spells were too violent. Once he was frozen, he would definitely lose. Let's fight. Chi Mufeng clenched his teeth, and the starlight on his fist suddenly exploded. After shattering the ice spell that was sweeping towards him, he withdrew his fist and hurriedly retreated. Even second brother is no match for him? Chi Mushue's face turned dark when she saw that Chi Mufeng was at a disadvantage the moment they exchanged blows. Chi Muyu secretly shook his head. He already knew that Chi Mufeng was no match for Su Chen, but he never thought that the gap between them would be so big. The starlight cutting technique that Chi Mufeng used was a special ability that he had awakened in the Void Battleground. It could be considered one of his trump cards. But in front of Su Chen, it couldn't even cause a ripple. Moreover, looking at Su Chen's calm expression, he did not use any strength at all. You're stronger than I thought. Chi Mufeng kept a distance from Su Chen and said solemnly. If he had not reacted fast enough, he might have been defeated. At this moment, he still had some lingering fear. Compared to that sage-level gold-devouring bug, you're still lacking. You've disappointed me. Su Chen glanced at Chi Mufeng and shook his head with a sigh. At first, he thought that since Chi Mufeng dared to take the initiative to challenge him, his strength should be at least on par with the sage-level gold-devouring bug. But he did not expect that Chi Mufeng would be so weak. At most, he was only a little stronger than Feng Hexiang. If that's all you've got, you'll be humiliating yourself if you continue to fight. It's best if you surrender. Su Chen said in a deep voice. Hearing that, Chi Mufeng's face turned pale. He shouted angrily, Su Chen, I still have my strongest killer move. If you can block it, I don't mind surrendering. Go ahead. Su Chen curled his lips and said calmly. Chapter 821. Su Chen, I have to remind you that this move of mine is extremely powerful. Once I use it, there's no way I can stop it. You have to be mentally prepared. Chi Mufeng said seriously. Got it. Su Chen nodded, still looking nonchalant. Seeing that, Chi Mufeng stopped nagging and a blue longsword appeared in his hand. He raised his hand and the blue longsword flew into the air. It trembled slightly and became 10 feet long. Suddenly, an extremely sharp sword essence spread out. At the same time, there seemed to be a resonance in the void. There was a thunderous roar and tens of thousands of lightning bolts appeared in the void. The lightning flashed and the deafening roar was endless. It looks pretty awesome. Just as Su Chen was marveling at it, he saw tens of thousands of lightning bolts surging into the giant blue sword. In the next moment, the giant blue sword changed and strangely turned into a giant dragon with flashing lightning bolts. Accompanied by a dragon's roar, the entire void trembled. Swimming Dragon Sword Art, 10,000 Lightning Sword Transformation Technique. Just as the blue dragon appeared, Chi Mufeng chanted and leaped into the air. Soon, he became one with the blue dragon. In an instant, a violent pressure swept out in all directions. Wherever it passed, even the vegetation on the ground seemed to tremble. What a terrifying divine power! Wu Yazi and the rest were shocked. When the pressure came, they felt a chill run down their spines. Second brother has mastered the 10,000 lightning sword transformation technique. Chi Mushue and Chi Muyu were extremely excited. The swimming dragon sword art was one of the most powerful techniques in the Chi family, and the 10,000 lightning sword transformation technique was the hardest divine power to master. There were many geniuses in the Chi family, but only their Laozu could master this divine power. They didn't expect Chi Mufeng to master it too. Second brother will win for sure. Chi Mushue shouted excitedly. The power of the 10,000 thunder transformation sword technique was unparalleled. Once it was used, it was enough to deal a fatal blow to a cultivator of a higher level. In her opinion, there was no way Su Chen could resist it. Sword intent manifestation. Body and sword as one. Su Chen narrowed his eyes and muttered to himself. Chi Mufeng's move was a little similar to man and sword as one, but it was much more exquisite than that. It had been a long time since Su Chen had encountered such a powerful killing move. His fighting spirit immediately soared. Su Chen, it's not too late to surrender. Qi Mufeng's authoritative voice suddenly sounded from the blue dragon. Bring it on. Su Chen was not afraid. Qi Mufeng had killer moves, but so did he. He wanted to see whether Qi Mufeng's Thousand Thunder transformation swordsmanship or his Thousand Light Ten Shadows fighting skill was more powerful. You're overestimating yourself. Seeing that Su Chen still dared to boast shamelessly, Qi Mushue snorted coldly. Take this. Qi Mufeng roared and suddenly launched an attack. He saw the blue dragon meandering in the air, pressing down on Su Chen with the force of thousands of caddies. Su Chen also used the Thousand Light Ten Shadows fighting skill at this time. 1 turned into 2, 2 turned into 4, in the blink of an eye, shadows that looked exactly like him appeared in the surroundings. What kind of supernatural power is this? Qi Muyu and Qi Mushue were stunned. Shang Caili and the others were also inexplicably shocked. Among the people present, only Wu Yazi and Li Kueyang had seen Su Chen use the Thousand Light Ten Shadows fighting skill, so they were a little calmer. Qi Mufeng, you're bound to lose. Wu Yazi sighed with emotion. He had personally experienced the power of the 10,000 Lights 10 Shadows fighting technique. At that time, when Su Chen was at level 9, he used this move to deal with him. As a pseudo-saint, it was difficult for him to resist. Su Chen was now at level 10, and the power of this move was even more violent. How could Qi Mufeng resist it? Chapter 822. The blue dragon rushed down and was immediately surrounded by the 11 Su Chens. 5 Su Chens joined forces to release their spiritual power and suppressed the blue dragon. All kinds of magic arts fell from the sky. One of the shadows held the primordial 5 poles mountain and smashed it heavily on the blue dragon's body. There was a loud bang. The blue dragon's huge body was smashed to the ground, creating a deep pit. Su Chen's real body held the chaos sky-splitting sword. He hesitated for a moment and didn't slash down in the end. Qi Mufeng's innumerable thunder sword art might be stronger than the saint-level gold devouring beetles in terms of attack power, but its defensive power was far inferior. Once the chaos sky-splitting sword slashed down, even the saint-level gold devouring beetles couldn't resist it, let alone Qi Mufeng. He had a good impression of Qi Mufeng and didn't hold a deep grudge against him. Naturally, he wouldn't kill him. Qi Mufeng was crushed under his feet. The outcome of the battle was clear. Su Chen put away the primordial 5 poles mountain and the chaos sky-splitting sword, and the 10 shadows also disappeared. Seeing that Su Chen didn't continue to attack, Qi Muyu and Nan Linchuan heaved a long sigh of relief. But their eyes were full of awe when they looked at Su Chen. It was not until this moment that they really saw Su Chen's strength. They even realized that even in the void, ordinary first-stage saint-level masters were no match for Su Chen. It turns out that Su Chen is so powerful. Nan Linchuan couldn't help but exclaim. When he fought with Su Chen before, he was crushed by Su Chen. He thought that Su Chen was relying on the advantage of being a full-time cultivator, so he was somewhat unconvinced. After seeing Su Chen's strength, he realized that Su Chen didn't use his full strength at all. They were just fooling around. Brother Qi, are you okay? Su Chen took a breath and shouted at the deep pit. I'm fine. After being ravaged by Su Chen, Qi Mufeng had already returned to his original form and slowly climbed out of the deep pit. At this moment, Qi Mufeng was dressed in rags and was in a sorry state. However, his aura was still stable, which meant that he hadn't suffered much damage. Su Chen, you win. Qi Mufeng's expression was desolate. He sighed and said, I'll accept my loss. I'll tell you where the 2 secret realms are. As for the 20 grade 10 energy stones, I'll think of a way to give them to you as soon as possible. Su Chen nodded slightly. Although he looked calm on the surface, his heart was bursting with joy. In this battle, not only had he obtained information about 2 secret realms, but he had also obtained another 20 level 10 energy stones. It could be said that he had profited greatly. Su Chen, before I tell you the location of the two secret realms, I have a presumptuous request. Chi Mufeng coughed lightly and said embarrassedly. Brother Chi, feel free to speak your mind. Su Chen wasn't bothered by it. Brother Su's strength is something I've never seen before. Brother Su and I got to know each other after a fight. I'd like to become sworn brothers with Brother Su. Chi Mufeng said seriously with a solemn expression. Is second brother crazy? Chi Mushua's mouth was wide open. She was stunned. She didn't like Su Chen at all. If Su Chen really agreed, how would they get along in the future? Chi Muyu also had a face full of surprise, but after recovering, he was ecstatic in his heart. Su Chen's talent and strength were visible to the naked eye. It was almost certain that he would advance to the sacred stage. Once Su Chen advanced to the sacred stage, his strength would definitely increase by leaps and bounds. He would even have a place in the void. Being on good terms with such a talented person was definitely beneficial to the Qi family. From the bottom of his heart, he was very supportive of Chi Mufeng and Su Chen becoming sworn brothers. He also hoped that Su Chen would agree. Chapter 823. Become brothers with different surnames? Su Chen was caught off guard by Chi Mufeng's sudden words. Strictly speaking, he had a good impression of Chi Mufeng. Although Chi Mufeng came from a big family and was a sage powerhouse, he did not have the slightest bit of hostility in him. That was rather commendable, and it suited Su Chen's temperament. Logically speaking, becoming brothers with Chi Mufeng was not a bad choice. However, Su Chen had his own considerations. Chi Muyu still owed him 60 level, 10 energy stones, which was not a small sum. Once he became brothers with Chi Mufeng, would he still have the face to ask for them? Su Chen hesitated as he thought of that. Chi Mufeng thought that Su Chen was unwilling, so he quickly said, Su Chen, Chi Mufeng, have always been open and aboveboard. The reason why I made this request is not because I have any ulterior motives toward you. I'm completely convinced by your abilities. Chi Mushua seemed to have noticed something, so she added, Su Chen, becoming brothers with my second brother is beneficial to both of us. With your talent, you'll definitely become a super powerhouse in the future. You'll be of great help to my second brother. You should know a thing or two about the dangers in the void. It's definitely not feasible to fight alone. However, if you become brothers with my second brother, the Qi family can legitimately help you with all our might. Also, as long as you agree, the Qi family's cultivation resources, ruins, and secret realms can all be shared with you. In order to rope Su Chen in, Chi Muyu had put in a lot of effort. Sister, how could you do that? Chi Mushua was completely dumbfounded. Not only did Chi Muyu not dissuade her, but he also tried his best to rope Su Chen in, which was beyond her expectations. At the same time, it made her very angry. She even suspected that Chi Muyu had taken a fancy to Su Chen. Since your Qi family is so sincere, I will agree, Su Chen said straightforwardly. Just as Chi Muyu had said, it was indeed better to have the help of a powerful force than to fight alone. Moreover, he could also take the opportunity to obtain some information about the mystic realm. This was also something that he valued. Great! Chi Mufeng was indescribably excited. Wu Yazi and the others were overjoyed. Su Chen and the Qi family were on good terms, which was what they wanted to see. With the support of the Qi family, any saint-level powerhouse who wanted to find trouble with Su Chen in the future would have to think twice. Su Chen, since you become brothers with my second brother, shouldn't you return the things that you stole from us? Chi Mushua shamelessly walked up and said naturally. The things she was talking about were the saint-level puppet and the life primary fluid. I'm friends with your second brother. What does that have to do with you? Don't be shameless. Get lost. Just looking at you disgusts me. Su Chen did not indulge her at all and scolded her with a cold face. He had great use for these two things. Of course, he would not give them to her. Moreover, who was Chi Mushua? How dare she ask for them? If it was not for Chi Mufeng, Su Chen would have slapped her. Chi Mushue opened her mouth wide and the smile on her face froze. Chi Muyu more or less understood Su Chen's temper. He said with a smile, "Su Chen, my sister is joking with you. Don't take it seriously." Chi Mufeng also smiled awkwardly. Mushue doesn't know any better. Don't lower yourself to her level. After venting his anger, Su Chen felt much better. He said to Chi Mushue, "For the sake of your second brother and sister, I won't bicker with you. Next time, be careful and don't ask for things from others." Hearing that, Chi Mushue was stunned and almost choked to death. Chapter 8:24. After that, there was a relatively simple ceremony. Although it was just a ceremony, it was also bound by the will of the heavens. If one party had evil thoughts, they would definitely be punished by the heavens. After the ceremony, Su Chen and Chi Mufeng became sworn brothers, and the relationship between them was undoubtedly much closer. Today is also a joyous day. Let's celebrate here today, Su Chen said as he opened the chaos space again. After calling out all the others, he introduced them and then arranged for Yang Hao and the others to prepare the food. 2 hours later, there was a lot of delicious food in front of everyone, mostly roasted meat and fruits. Although Chi Mufeng and the others were disciples of big families, it was the first time they had seen such a sumptuous meal. "Su Chen, your fruits are too fresh, aren't they? It's as if they were just picked." Chi Mufeng chewed an apple and clicked his tongue in wonder. "Brother Chi, if you like, I'll give you a few trees so that you can eat fresh fruits in the future," Su Chen said with a smile. Since he had become sworn brothers with Chi Mufeng, it was only right to give him a few fruit trees. Anyway, there were many fruit tree seeds in the storage bag. "Then I won't be polite." Chi Mufeng did not refuse. He just regarded Su Chen's fruit trees as ordinary fruit trees and did not know how magical they were. Later, everyone talked as they ate and gradually became familiar with each other. After eating and drinking to their heart's content, Su Chen and Chi Mufeng started to talk business. "Brother Chi, how did you know about the spirit spring of life in the elf continent?" Su Chen asked. The value of the spirit spring of life was self-evident. Once it was known by outsiders, it would definitely cause a mad scramble. How could Chi Mufeng find it? He now somewhat doubted the authenticity of this news. "I bought this news from the Hidden Spirit sect at a high price," Chi Mufeng said directly. "Hidden Spirit sect?" Su Chen frowned. Where did the Hidden Spirit sect find out? Since they knew this secret, why didn't they look for it themselves? As if seeing Su Chen's doubts, Chi Mufeng explained, "The Hidden Spirit sect is located in the void, and their strength is not below our Chi family. They are actually an organization that sells secrets, and the information they sell is all true and reliable, so their credibility is guaranteed." There was such an organization? Su Chen couldn't help but click his tongue. He didn't doubt Chi Mufeng's words, because if the Hidden Spirit sect was really cheating, their reputation would have been tarnished, and no one would trade with them. Moreover, there were many great forces in the void. If they had cheated, they would have been annihilated long ago. What Su Chen found strange was, where did the Hidden Spirit sect's news come from? Why don't you look for it yourself? With regards to this, Chi Mufeng wasn't sure. He only said that the Hidden Spirit sect's style of doing things had always been like this. Su Chen didn't think too much about it. He just needed to confirm the authenticity of the spiritual spring of life. "Brother Chi, when the auction in Moonshine City is over, let's go look for it together." Su Chen made a decision. Chi Mufeng reminded him, "Su Chen, if we want to enter that secret realm, we still need to make some preparations." Su Chen nodded and listened attentively to Chi Mufeng. "According to the news I got, there is likely to be an evil spirit hidden in the secret realm, so we must buy some evil defense treasures," Chi Mufeng said. "Evil spirit?" Su Chen raised his eyebrows slightly. He had seen evil spirit things several times. The evil fruit tree and the abyss black poria belonged to the category of evil spirits. Because of his ancient god-demon body, evil spirits could not cause any harm to him. Chapter 825. But Qi Mufeng couldn't. Even if he was a saint level, he might not be able to resist the invasion of the evil aura. He really needed a defensive treasure. However, there were very few treasures that could defend against the evil aura. Where could he get one? Is there such a treasure in Moonshine City? Su Chen probed. Qi Mufeng nodded and said, "There is a clear sky mirror in this Moonshine City auction. It is a treasure that specializes in restraining evil spirits." "Okay, let's bid for it," Su Chen said. With the clear sky mirror in hand, Qi Mufeng had a defensive means. He had greater confidence in the trip to the secret realm. Later, the two talked about other things. 3 days later, on the day of the Moonshine City auction, Su Chen and the others re-entered Moonshine City. Because there were many people participating in the auction, and most of them were powerful foreign races, Su was worried that there would be trouble, so he put Chen Feng and the others into the chaos space. Only Wu Yazi and the other powerhouses above level 10 were left outside. After buying a box ticket, Su Chen and the others smoothly entered the auction. The venue of the Moonshine City auction was the size of a football field, and the number of people participating was in the tens of thousands. Su Chen had participated in many auctions, but it was the first time he had encountered one of this scale. "Brother Qi, besides the machinery heart, are there any other treasures in this auction?" Su Chen asked. To be able to attract so many powerhouses, a machinery heart was obviously not that attractive. He wondered if there were other treasures. "Besides the machinery heart, there is also a saint-level puppet and a flying sacred tool," Qi Mufeng said directly. Su Chen's expression changed, and he asked anxiously, "What kind of saint-level puppet?" He didn't care about ordinary saint-level puppets, but if it was from the machinery race, he had to get his hands on it. "It seems to be similar to the one in your hand," Qi Mufeng said with uncertainty. "Then there is a very high possibility." Su Chen narrowed his eyes and muttered. As long as it was confirmed that it belonged to the mechanical race, no matter how many energy stones he had to spend, it would be worth it. Moreover, he also believed that with his wealth, no one could compete with him. The auction is about to begin. Right at this moment, Wu Yazi reminded. Su Chen gathered his thoughts and looked at the stage in the center of the venue. At this moment, a beautiful female elf slowly walked onto the stage. At first, Su Chen did not pay much attention to it. This was because the host of the auction was usually a beautiful woman, so it wasn't strange at all. However, after seeing the face of the female elf, Su Chen's eyelids twitched, and he exclaimed, "Yueling." That day on Chong Su Island, he had made a deal with Moon Spirit, so he still had some impression of Moon Spirit. Therefore, he recognized her at a glance. But wasn't Moon Spirit the princess of the elves? How did he become the host of an auction? "Su Chen, you know her?" Qi Mufeng exclaimed softly. Su Chen nodded slightly. "She is the princess of the elves." "What?" Qi Mufeng and the others were shocked. The princess of the elves was actually the host of an auction? Wasn't this too unbelievable? Su Chen also felt that it was a little strange, and he also keenly sensed that Moon Spirit's expression was very unnatural. Although there was a smile on Moon Spirit's face, it looked very forced. Could it be that something had happened? Su Chen secretly guessed and planned to wait until the auction ended before going to ask. Chapter 826. The Moonshine City auction has officially begun. The first item is called the Wings of Flight, which is a flying sacred tool. It was also at this time that Moon Spirit announced the start of the auction, and the first item to be auctioned was a sacred tool, which immediately aroused the mood of the entire auction. The value of a sacred tool is self-evident, and a flying sacred tool is a life-saving thing. I believe everyone here is clear about this. Therefore, the starting price of the Wings of Flight is 10,000 energy stones, and each bid increment should not be less than 1,000 energy stones. Moon Spirit made a brief introduction and announced the start of the auction. Suddenly, the entire auction house boiled over. A flying sacred tool was indeed quite attractive, and the price rose all the way, and soon broke through the 50,000 mark. Su Chen was not interested in this. The intelligent war chariot had the ability to fly, and strictly speaking, it was equivalent to a flying sacred tool. Moreover, he himself had the meteoric rise, so walking in the air was like walking on flat ground, and he did not need a flying object at all. As a result, he had never made a bid. However, there were many people who needed a flying sacred tool, and the competition was very fierce. When the price broke through 100,000, there was still no sign of it slowing down. In the end, it was won by the first box at a sky-high price of 180,000. This price was so high that even Su Chen, as a local tyrant, was a little speechless. After the auction of the wings of flight, Moon Spirit immediately announced the second item. However, to everyone's surprise, the second item was not one, but two. And they were the mechanical heart and the saint-level puppet that were very eye-catching in this auction. What kind of operation was this? Everyone was puzzled. The mechanical heart and the saint-level puppet, even if one of them was auctioned separately, it was enough to cause a sensation. Why were the two items being auctioned together? And such a good thing, shouldn't it be left for the finale? The auction had just begun, and the three most valuable items were auctioned off. What kind of trick was this? Su Chen vaguely felt that something was wrong, but he could not detect it. Moon Spirit did not let everyone wait for long and said slowly, as we all know, the saint-level puppet needs to be installed with a mechanical heart to be used. For the convenience of everyone, we will simply auction it together. When Moon Spirit's words fell, the auction venue suddenly burst into discussion. Su Chen frowned and muttered to himself. Moon Spirit was right, but he didn't agree with her. This was because the purpose of an auction was to pursue profit. Auctioning two items together would definitely not yield more than auctioning them separately. How could an auction do such a good thing? For what reason? The more Su Chen thought about it, the more he felt that this matter was not simple. Unlike the previous auctions, the machinery heart and saint rank puppets will not be sold in energy stones. Instead, they will be sold in items. Only some spiritual materials with life energy will be able to participate in the auction. Moon Spirit glanced around and explained. Long before the auction started, everyone knew about this, so they weren't surprised. However, since the mechanical heart and the saint stage puppet were being auctioned together, the price would definitely increase exponentially, and the competition would be even more intense. Su Chen, if you only have one bottle of life original fluid, I'm afraid it will be difficult for you to get it. Qi Mufeng reminded him. Su Chen was also clear about this. One bottle of primary life fluid could be exchanged for one mechanical heart, but it was impossible to exchange for two of them. However, he was not very worried. After all, he still had 8 longevity fruits and a crystal core full of life energy. In the worst case, he would spend a little. In short, he was determined to get the mechanical heart and the saint-level puppet. Chapter 827. Soon, the second round of the auction officially began. However, because there were very few spiritual materials with vitality, the auction was very deserted, and there were only a dozen people bidding. Moreover, the highest bid was only 2 bottles of primary life liquid. Seeing that no one continued to raise the price, Su Chen was about to bid when Swiftbird's strong signal came from the pet-raising space. Swiftbird was so anxious, most likely because it had foreseen the existence of danger. But what danger could there be in Moonshine City? Su Chen couldn't figure it out, but he didn't think too much about it. He immediately opened the pet-raising space and asked, Xiao Sun, what happened? Swiftbird hurriedly replied, Master, I feel that a terrifying existence has come here. Terrifying existence? Su Chen slightly frowned and asked softly, how strong is it? His aura is abnormally huge. There is no doubt that he is a saint-rank powerhouse. Swiftbird replied. Although a saint-rank powerhouse was powerful, in the mainland, he could only exert the ability of a level 10 practitioner at most. He could not pose a threat to him at all. Su Chen asked with some doubts, Xiao Sun, are you sure you didn't sense it wrongly? Master, my senses are absolutely not wrong. Swift Bird explained, and then said, Master, this terrifying existence has not been suppressed. He is exuding the aura of a saint-rank powerhouse. Is this true or false? Su Chen's brows wrinkled deeply. He still didn't believe it. After all, it was a well-known fact that cultivation was suppressed in the mainland. How could he retain the strength of a saint-rank powerhouse? Could it be that the power of the domain had become a decoration? Qi Mufeng noticed that Su Chen's complexion was not right, and asked in a low voice, Su Chen, what happened? Su Chen did not hide anything and told him everything that Swift Bird had told him. Hearing this, everyone's expression became unusually dignified. If there really was a saint-level expert in Moonlight City who wouldn't be suppressed, no one present would be a match for him. Swift Bird's perception is an innate gift. Since it said so, it can't be wrong. Shouldn't we leave this place immediately? Qi Muyu reminded. All right, let's leave this place first. Su Chen pondered for a while and finally made a decision. There were many suspicious points about this auction from the very beginning. When he thought of the sudden arrival of the saint-level powerhouse, he began to suspect that this auction might be a trap. And their target was the people who were participating in the auction. No one objected to Su Chen's decision. Just as they were about to leave, a sudden change occurred. The entire auction house suddenly trembled. At the same time, an unparalleled pressure swept over from above. It gave off a very heavy and oppressive feeling, and even breathing became abnormally difficult. Saint-level aura. How was this possible? Cries of surprise rang out in the auction hall. There were many saint-level powerhouses who were participating in the auction, and they were very clear about the aura of the saint level. The entire auction house fell into a huge panic at this moment. The people in the auction house were not ordinary people, and naturally knew that it was impossible to emit the aura of the saint level on the mainland. The appearance of such a strange thing made them instinctively feel a trace of fear. Buzz! Suddenly, the auction house trembled again. After the tremor, a huge tree shadow slowly appeared above the auction house. Covering the sky and the sun, it actually completely enveloped the sky above the auction house. Chapter 828. Is it a saint-level monster plant? Su Chen muttered when he sensed the saint-level aura coming from the tree. It's not a saint-level monster plant. It's the elven race's holy tree. Qi Mufeng explained. The elven race's holy tree? What was it trying to do by appearing here? Su Chen became more and more puzzled and asked in a low voice, Brother Qi, what's the origin of this holy tree? Qi Mufeng took a deep breath and said slowly, this holy tree is known as the elven race's guardian god. It's because of its existence that the elven race can have a place among the other races. So it's very strong? Su Chen pondered for a moment and then asked, what stage of the saint rank is it? Level 5 saint level. Qi Mufeng said in a deep voice. Hiss. Shang Tsili and the others all gasped. Su Chen couldn't help but click his tongue. At first, he felt that the holy tree was very strong, but he never thought it would be this strong. Level 5 saint-level monster plant was on the same level as the Qi family's ancestor. In the face of such a powerhouse, all the people present together wouldn't be enough to kill it. It's true that the elven race's holy tree is at level 5 saint level, but there was a rumor 100 years ago that it's near the end of its life and its cultivation is much weaker than before. It shouldn't be at level 5 saint level now. Wu Yazi suddenly said. He used to be a saint-level dwarf race, so it was reasonable for him to know this news. Qi Mufeng nodded and said, I've also heard this rumor. Su Chen's heart moved and he immediately contacted the intelligent war chariot. Satoshi, what's the holy tree's cultivation level? Level 1 saint level. The intelligent war chariot quickly replied. Hearing this, Su Chen let out a long sigh of relief. The elven race's holy tree's cultivation level had dropped a lot. If it was only at level 1 saint level, it wouldn't be a fatal threat to him. His originally restless mood also calmed down. Su Chen, are we still going to leave this place? Qi Mufeng asked. The appearance of the elven race's holy tree gave him a lot of psychological pressure. If he could, he wanted to escape immediately. "There's no rush," Su Chen replied. "There must be a reason why the elven holy tree appeared here. If they left rashly, it would be easy to attract its attention and attack them. It was better to wait and see what it was trying to do." Box 1, Box 17. Box 1350, hand over your things. Suddenly, Moon Spirit's cold voice rang out from the auction hall. Su Chen noticed that the people Moon Spirit mentioned were the ones who had bid for the mechanical heart and sage puppet. "What's the meaning of this? Are you trying to steal it?" An angry roar came from box number 1. Immediately afterward, there was a loud explosion, and the entire private room exploded. A majestic foreign race elder walked out from within. Li Changhong from the Wan clan castle. Qi Mufeng recognized this person at a glance. The Wan clan castle was a relatively large force in the void, and Li Changhong was also a saint-level powerhouse. A saint-level powerhouse had their own dignity. In the face of the elven race's oppression, how could they give in so easily? I was wondering who it was. So it's from the Wan clan castle. An old face suddenly appeared on the trunk of the elven race's holy tree. It sized up Li Changhong and spoke in a strange tone. "Speak, what's your purpose?" Li Changhong's face darkened as he snorted coldly. "Hand over everything you have, or I'll kill you." The elven race's holy tree laughed sinisterly. Its voice was as cold as a glacier. It was as if Li Changhong would really kill him if he didn't do as he said. Chapter 829. As soon as this remark came out, the auction venue was suddenly filled with noise. The sacred tree of the elves actually snatched something in public in the auction venue and threatened to kill Li Changhong. This was something that no one had expected. Could it be that the sacred tree of the elves appeared here to snatch something? Qi Mufeng voiced out his thoughts. Su Chen did not quite agree with this view. If it was just for some spiritual materials with vitality, it could be exchanged, and there was no need to make such a big fuss. The elves doing this was tantamount to offending everyone in the auction. One must know that there were a lot of people from big forces here, and there were even many sage-rank powerhouses. Therefore, Su Chen guessed that the elves must have other ulterior motives. It was just that he still couldn't guess it and could only continue to observe. "Want to kill me? Do you think you can kill me?" Li Changhong laughed wildly, and then took out a white talisman. After fiercely clenching it, a white light shot out from it and shrouded him. Here, the sacred tree of the elves could exert the strength of a sage-rank powerhouse. He knew that he was not its opponent, so he decided to escape. "Want to use a space talisman to teleport away? Do you think you can escape?" The sacred tree of the elves did not stop him and instead sneered. The next moment, the white light on Li Changhong's body flashed wildly for a while before finally extinguishing. "You have sealed the space here." Finding that he had not been teleported away, Li Changhong's face became extremely ugly, and he screamed. The sacred tree of the elves smiled gloomily. "Have you forgotten where you are? Moonshine City." The Moonshine City was a top sacred tool. Could it be that the elves had already activated this sacred tool? Then what did the elves want to do? Suddenly, the whole auction house fell into a panic. It was rumored that the Moonshine City could kill a level 10 powerhouse. If the elves were really plotting something, the people present would be in danger. Su Chen's face also changed slightly, and he quickly contacted the intelligent chariot. "Satoshi, can you start the shuttle function to leave the elf continent? In case the sacred tree of the elves really went crazy and started a massacre, he had to leave a way out for himself." "Master, the surrounding space has been sealed. We can't find the boundary point, so we can't travel," the intelligent war chariot replied. Su Chen's heart sank to the bottom. Since the space had been sealed, the purpose of the elven holy tree was obvious. Most likely, he wanted to kill everyone present. The elven holy tree is up to no good. "Get ready for battle," Su Chen reminded. Wu Yazi's eyelids twitched as he probed. "Su Chen, Do you mean that the elves are going to attack us? Su Chen nodded. That's very possible. Hearing this, everyone's expression turned ugly. Being in the Moonshine City and facing a strong person who could cast the power of a sacred rank, was it still possible for them to survive? I'll give you everything. Let me go. Li Changhong compromised and took out everything she had, including the wings of flight that she had bought at a sky-high price and the life original fluid. It's too late to take things out now. The sacred tree of the elves sneered. Suddenly, a thick branch shot out and smashed down on Li Changhong. Li Changhong desperately tried to hide, but the speed of the branch was too fast. In the blink of an eye, it had caught up with Li Changhong and swept heavily on her waist and abdomen. With a bang, Li Changhong's whole body exploded and she died on the spot. Chapter 830. Hiss. Witnessing this scene, everyone in the auction hall sucked in a cold breath. Li Changhong was a saint-level powerhouse. Even if her cultivation was suppressed, she was still much stronger than the average level 10 cultivator. However, she was killed in an instant by the elf race's holy tree. This showed how powerful the elf race's holy tree was. Is this the true power of a saint-level powerhouse? Su Chen murmured with a serious expression. This was the first time he felt a sense of crisis since he started cultivating. He could imagine that if the elf race's holy tree attacked them, he would be the only one who could resist it. Even Wu Yazi and Qi Mufeng might be killed in an instant. However, if the elf race's holy tree really wanted to attack them, he wouldn't just sit there and wait. As for whether he could defeat the elf race's holy tree, he wasn't confident at all. This was also the first time Su Chen had encountered such a situation. Su Chen, what should we do? Nan Linchuan was a bit panicked. Su Chen was the strongest among them, so they put all their hopes on Su Chen. Let's wait and see. Su Chen sighed. It was obviously impossible to leave the auction house now. Let's fight it to the death. Do you think he can kill so many people? Qi Mufeng gritted his teeth, and a determined look appeared on his face. If they really had no way out, they might have to fight with their lives. After a short moment of panic, the people in the auction house started to rush out of the auction house. However, the auction house had been completely sealed. There was no way out. Let's attack together and break the defense here. A saint-level powerhouse yelled when he saw that the situation wasn't good. It was a matter of life and death. Everyone knew that. For a moment, all kinds of spells, mind power, and evolvers' attacks hit the four walls of the auction house. Boom, boom, with a series of explosions, the entire auction house shook violently. Although the Moonshine City was a top sacred tool, it could not withstand the indiscriminate bombardment of tens of thousands of cultivators. It would not be able to hold on any longer. Su Chen had not made a move yet. He knew very well that even if he broke this place and rushed out, he would still be in the Moonshine City. It would be meaningless at all. If they wanted to leave the Moonshine City alive, it seemed that the only way was to defeat the sacred tree of the elves. You're courting death. The elven race's sacred tree roared, and countless branches shot out from its huge body, smashing down on the crowd below. Bang bang bang. Dense explosive sounds suddenly resounded in the auction hall. Even a level 10 practitioner would find it hard to withstand the violent attacks of a sacred rank. Those below level 10 would be directly smashed into dust. After suffering a round of attacks from the elven race's holy tree, thousands of cultivators in the auction hall lost their lives. The number of injured was uncountable. They were lying on the ground, howling in pain. At this moment, the auction hall was like a purgatory on earth. The smell of blood soared to the sky, and miserable screams rang out continuously. Although Su Chen had not made a move yet, he found a very strange thing. The blood mist floating around was all sucked into the body of the elven sacred tree. At the same time, a powerful evil aura emanated from its body. The aura of the evil-born fruit tree? Su Chen's eyelids twitched. He clearly felt that the aura emitted by the elven sacred tree was exactly the same as the aura emitted by the evil-born fruit tree. Chapter 831. Moreover, Su Chen also noticed that the elven sacred tree's aura was rising steadily after absorbing the blood mist. At first, it was only a first-stage saint rank, but now it was almost a second-stage saint rank. I have to find a way to stop it. Su Chen didn't intend to continue watching coldly from the sidelines. Once the elven sacred tree recovered to second-stage saint rank, there would be no chance at all. Thinking of this, Su Chen quickly opened the Doomsday Maul. He first exchanged for the mysterious sky battle armor, and then a bottle of level 10 constitution potion. The mysterious sky battle armor was a defensive armor with very strong defensive capabilities. The moment the exchange was successful, it would be integrated into the body. Once there was danger, it would automatically appear and protect Su Chen. The main purpose of exchanging for the level 10 constitution potion was to deal with the Diamond Willow. The Diamond Willow was currently at level 9. After reaching level 10, its strength wouldn't be inferior to the level 10 gold devouring beetles. Su Chen didn't have the slightest confidence in defeating a powerful existence like the elven sacred tree, so he wanted the gold devouring beetles and the Diamond Willow to assist him. After the Diamond Willow reached level 10, Su Chen directly summoned the gold devouring beetles and the Diamond Willow. He said to Wu Yazi and Qi Mufeng, "Senior, Brother Qi, let's deal with the elven sacred tree together." Wu Yazi's 18 shields had been upgraded to sacred artifacts after fusing with the 9 dragon blood coffin. With this sacred artifact, his defense wasn't inferior to the gold devouring beetles and the Diamond Willow. Although Qi Mufeng's defense was relatively weak, his strongest killing move's attack power was only inferior to Wu Yazi's. At the critical moment, he could deal a fatal blow to the elven sacred tree. "Su Chen, what about us?" Shang Tsili asked in a low voice. "You guys enter my chaos space first." Su Chen replied and opened the chaos space, taking Shang Tsili and the others into it. Although Shang Tsili and the others weren't weak, they were too weak in front of the elven sacred tree. They would probably be killed in an instant. This move was also considered for their safety. "Let's go." Su Chen took a deep breath and smashed the box with a punch. He was the first to charge toward the elven sacred tree. Without any hesitation, Wu Yazi and his 2 spirit pets followed closely behind Su Chen. At the same time, the elven sacred tree continued its massacre. The number of people who survived the auction was less than 1/10 of the original number. "Ha! All of you will die." The elven race's sacred tree laughed wantonly. Just as it was about to continue attacking, it suddenly noticed 5 figures flying towards it. Initially, he did not care. After all, Su Chen and the others were level 10 cultivators. In his eyes, they were like ants. However, it was shocked when it sensed a terrifying icy aura coming at it. It's an ice spell that's beyond level 10. The elven sacred tree did not dare to be careless. It threw out a thick branch and smashed it towards the white torrent. In the next moment, as soon as the two touched, the thick branch was sealed in ice. Su Chen took advantage of the situation and threw out a punch. There was a loud bang. The entire branch was smashed into pieces. Seeing this, Wu Yazi and the others were invigorated and attacked together. Roar! With a dragon's roar, Qi Mufeng used the 10,000 lightning sword transformation technique and turned into a blue dragon. He directly opened a long crack on the elven sacred tree's body. However, after this attack, he no longer had the energy to attack. Just as he was about to retreat, he was hit by a branch. The huge dragon was defeated in an instant. Qi Mufeng, who had revealed his true form, spat out a mouthful of blood and flew down. Chapter 832. Die for me. After suffering 2 heavy blows in a row, the elven sacred tree's anger had reached its peak. It did not intend to let Qi Mufeng live. He controlled a huge branch and smashed it towards Qi Mufeng in the air. After Qi Mufeng landed, he had already fainted due to his heavy injuries. There was no way for him to dodge at all. Su Chen was further away, so it was too late for him to rescue him. Fortunately, Wu Yazi was closer. He rushed in front of Qi Mufeng and released 18 red and black shields to block in front of him. There was a loud explosion. The thick branch smashed down from the sky and smashed Wu Yazi into the ground. "You're next." The elven sacred tree's gaze fell on Su Chen, and a fierce murderous aura burst out. Buzz! There was a violent vibration in the void. Dozens of branches danced in the air and smashed toward Su Chen. The gold-devouring beetles and diamond willow tried to stop it, but they were easily sent flying. Su Chen's expression was extremely solemn, but he would not sit still and wait for death. When the branches came crashing down, a golden armor suddenly appeared on his body, and he released his mental power. Then, he smashed the primary 5 extremes mountain in his hand. Bang bang, there was a series of explosive sounds. After the primordial 5 extremes mountain broke a few branches, it was sent flying. The remaining branches all came down on Su Chen. A dazzling purple light flashed on his feet. Su Chen moved his feet and disappeared like a ghost. Bang bang. Boom, a few branches smashed where Su Chen was originally standing, and the ground was smashed into pieces. Su Chen dodged the fatal blow and rushed towards the elven sacred tree. Suddenly, a sound pierced through the air and entered his ears. It was a branch that suddenly sprung up from the ground and smashed towards him. It happened so suddenly that it was too late for Su Chen to dodge. "Let's see how you're going to hide now." A cruel smile appeared on the face of the elven race's sacred tree, as though it was treating Su Chen as a dead man. "I don't need to dodge." Su Chen snorted coldly and launched the long-arm golden scales and the super-strength technique at the same time. Buzz! A golden fist suddenly smashed out, and the shrill fist wind caused the surrounding void to tremble. The next moment, Su Chen punched the branch that was flying towards him. At the moment of contact, a violent force wreaked havoc. A loud bang was heard. The thick branches shattered inch by inch, turning into countless pieces that shot out in all directions. How is this possible? Seeing this, the elven sacred tree cried out in shock. Su Chen's punch was actually able to destroy its saint-level body, which was something it had never expected. And from what it saw, Su Chen was like a bolt of lightning, rushing in front of it in the blink of an eye. Immediately after, it felt its vision blur. In his sight, Su Chen turned into 2, and then into 4. Soon, there were 10 phantoms that looked exactly like him. What kind of magic is this? The elven sacred tree was shocked when it sensed the aura of a level 10 expert from the 10 shadows. Su Chen, moon spirit, who was hiding under the elven sacred tree, had a complicated look on her face after seeing Su Chen's appearance. She did not expect Su Chen to appear here. And Su Chen's strength had actually improved by leaps and bounds to the point where he could fight against the elven sacred tree, which shocked her even more. She still clearly remembered that Su Chen was only level 8 when they were on Chong Su Island. In just a few months, Su Chen had advanced to level 10. This kind of terrifying cultivation speed was too inconceivable. Chapter 833. Su Chen immediately launched his attack after using the 10,000 lights 10 shadows killing technique. All kinds of spells, mental strength, and sacred weapons smashed toward the elven sacred tree. There was a loud boom, and the sky changed color. After the elven sacred tree withstood this powerful killing move, countless cracks appeared on its huge body. Hundreds of its branches were broken, and it looked very miserable. Even its aura was a little chaotic. Su Chen is so strong. Moon Spirit looked at Su Chen in a daze, her face full of shock. How dare you hurt me? You deserve to die. The elven sacred tree was completely enraged. As a sage-level powerhouse, it felt extremely humiliated that it was beaten to this state by a level 10 cultivator. At the same time, it realized that Su Chen was definitely a huge threat. If it couldn't get rid of Su Chen completely, it would definitely leave behind a disaster. Go to hell. The enraged elven sacred tree waved a branch and smashed it toward Su Chen. The only difference was that this time, the branch was glowing with a faint white light. The white glimmer seemed ordinary, but it gave off an extremely dangerous feeling. It was as if one would turn into ashes if they came into contact with it. Su Chen, dodge quickly. That's the power of faith. At this moment, Moon Spirit suddenly roared after struggling for a while. The power of faith? Su Chen's eyelids twitched. He had heard from Wu Yazi that the power of faith could not only be used to level up, but it could also be used to form killing moves. The more power of faith one gathered, the more powerful it would be. The elven sacred tree had existed for countless years. The power of faith it gathered might have reached a terrifying level. At this moment, it was too late for Su Chen to dodge even if he wanted to. When the thick branch came crashing down, he threw out the Primordial 5 Extremes Mountain to block in front of him and set up a defense with his mental power. After doing all this, the branch of the elven sacred tree collided with the combined 5 Extremes Mountain. There was a loud bang. The Primordial 5 Extremes Mountain didn't even last a second before it was sent flying. As for the mind power that Su Chen had set up, it crumbled like a piece of paper. Seeing this scene, Su Chen's pupils suddenly shrank. Then, he gritted his teeth and used golden scales on arms. He crossed his arms in front of his chest and used his body to block the attack of the elven holy tree. There was a muffled bang. The thick branches smashed heavily onto Su Chen's arms. Instantly, a tremendous force that could topple mountains and overturn seas rolled over. However, Su Chen had the heaven-reaching hundredfold vigorous technique, so he was not inferior to his opponent in terms of strength. For a moment, the two of them were in a deadlock. You overestimate yourself. A mocking smile appeared on the elven sacred tree's face. In the next moment, the faint glow on the branches surged onto Su Chen's body. Suddenly, Su Chen felt his soul tremble. The heaven-reaching hundredfold vigorous force technique, which had been running smoothly, stopped at that moment. Bang! The balance was broken, and Su Chen was sent flying more than 10 meters away. However, he was wearing the Shantian armor and had the ancient god-fiend body. After taking the blow, he didn't suffer much damage. Your physical body is actually so strong? The elven sacred tree widened its eyes in disbelief. It had used the power of faith, but it still couldn't do anything to Su Chen, which made it deeply wary. At the same time, it was even more determined to get rid of Su Chen. You're just a so-so. Su Chen narrowed his eyes and stared at the elven sacred tree with a cold glint in his eyes. The elven sacred tree wanted to get rid of him, but he also wanted to kill it. Chapter 834. From the looks of it, Su Chen was in a disadvantageous position. However, the elven holy tree's attack method was relatively simple. The only thing to pay attention to was the opponent's power of faith. The power of faith was not a physical attack, but a soul attack. It was very strange. You are indeed very strong and qualified to be my opponent. But here, I am a godlike existence. Those who challenge me must die. The elven holy tree sneered, and a bright white light appeared all over its body. This white light was none other than the condensed power of faith. So much power of faith. Su Chen's expression was extremely solemn. Even if he had not come into contact with the power of faith, his soul could not help but tremble. In this way, no matter what method he used, it would be greatly reduced. Su Chen, I'm afraid we're going to die here today. Wu Yazi dragged the unconscious Qi Mufeng to Su Chen's side and sighed deeply. The gold-devouring beetles and diamond willow also flew over from afar and blocked in front of Su Chen. Su Chen's eyes were still firm. It was impossible for him to accept his fate. However, he also knew that the elven holy tree's power of faith was not something he could resist. If he wanted to live, he had to think of other ways. Suddenly, he thought of the city of faith. The city of faith had the word faith. Could it also contain the power of faith? At this point, it could be said that he was treating a dead horse as a living horse. Su Chen quickly opened the Doomsday Shopping Center and exchanged the remaining 10,000 energy points for the City of Faith. The moment the exchange was successful, a small golden city appeared in his storage bag, and the feedback was transmitted to his mind. Simply put, the City of Faith was something used to store and plunder the power of faith. When the power of faith reached a certain level, it could be fed back to the user for leveling up or used to attack. After reading the feedback, Su Chen was inexplicably excited. The City of Faith had the ability to plunder the power of faith. Didn't that mean he could plunder all the power of faith from the elven holy tree? Human, it's your honor to die in my hands. The holy tree of the elves looked at Su Chen with contempt and said coldly. Just as he was about to make a move, Moon Spirit suddenly sprinted toward the elven holy tree and pleaded, "Holy Ancestor, Su Chen has helped me before, please spare his life." What was going on? Wu Yazi and the others were stunned. Then, they all turned to look at Su Chen. Moon Spirit, as the princess of the elven tribe, had taken the risk to plead for Su Chen. This meant that the relationship between the two of them was not ordinary. However, Su Chen had said before that he and Moon Spirit had only met once, and their relationship was very thin. Moon Spirit's actions were a little strange. Su Chen rubbed his nose and pretended to be deep in thought as he said, "Moon Spirit is a righteous person. You don't have to think too much." On the other side, the elven sacred tree glanced at Moon Spirit coldly and sneered, "Do you think that just because you're the princess of the elven tribe, you have the right to say such things to me? To tell you the truth, you're just a puppet that I placed in the tribe. Since you're disobedient, I'll have to replace you with someone else." As soon as he finished speaking, he waved a branch towards Moon Spirit without any hesitation. "I'm just a puppet in the eyes of the Holy Ancestor." Moon Spirit stood rooted to the ground as if she was struck by lightning. She had no intention of dodging. However, she was only at level 6. Even if she wanted to dodge, she couldn't. At this critical moment, Su Chen made his move. After all, Moon Spirit was here to help him. He couldn't just watch Moon Spirit die in front of him. Chapter 835. Su Chen activated the Rapid War Boots and charged toward Moon Spirit like a bolt of lightning. Halfway there, he punched from afar. This punch looked ordinary, but it actually used the intent level Abhijna. Even though the elven sacred tree was a saint, it was still affected by the Abhijna and was stunned for a moment. Su Chen took this opportunity to rush to Moon Spirit's side, hugged her, and returned to the original spot. Su Chen, Moon Spirit came back to her senses, and her face was dark red. "Give it to me." Su Chen took the mechanical heart and the saint puppet from Moon Spirit's hands. Then he opened his storage bag and installed the mechanical heart on the golden puppet. The golden puppet was originally a saint puppet. Even if its cultivation was suppressed, it was still stronger than the gold-devouring beetles and the diamond willow. Now that the situation was critical, one more helper meant one more chance of victory. After installing the mechanical heart, the golden puppet quickly recovered and said excitedly, "Su Chen, you found the mechanical heart so quickly. Otetsu, I'm in danger now, and I need your help." Su Chen didn't have time to explain anything and directly summoned the golden puppet. Although he didn't have any relationship with the golden puppet, he believed that the golden puppet would help him. There was a rumbling sound. The moment the golden puppet appeared, the entire auction house trembled. "I'll kill whoever dares to bully you." The golden puppet laughed wildly as soon as it appeared. Its voice was powerful and domineering, as if it didn't care about anything. Su Chen felt that the golden puppet was a bit pretentious. He clicked his tongue and pointed at the elven sacred tree. "It's him. Can you beat it?" The golden puppet turned its huge head to look at the elven sacred tree. When it felt the violent aura from the sacred tree, its huge body trembled. It lowered its head and said to Su Chen, "How can this guy be a saint stage?" Its cultivation had been suppressed to level 10, so why was the elven holy tree able to possess the cultivation of a sacred rank? This made it very puzzled. You're not afraid, are you? The corner of Su Chen's mouth twitched slightly, and he chuckled. A little. The golden puppet spoke truthfully. If it was an opponent of the same level, it wouldn't be afraid of any opponent. However, if he was facing a saint-level expert, it would indeed bring him great pressure. Do you think you can survive just because you have one more saint-level puppet? The elven sacred tree squinted and sneered and said, "Today, you'll all die." As soon as it finished speaking, it waved a branch wrapped in white light and smashed it down from the sky. Don't of. The golden puppet gritted its teeth and charged forward bravely. Su Chen knew that the golden puppet was definitely no match for the elven sacred tree with the power of faith. It might be shattered in an instant. So, he quickly took out the city of faith and threw it into the air. Suddenly, a powerful suction force was released from it. This suction force didn't work on other things, but it was the nemesis of the power of faith. The white light on the thick branch surged into the city of faith like a whale sucking in water. What the hell is this? The elven sacred tree was shocked and quickly put away the power of faith. But at this moment, the golden puppet had collided with the thick paper. Even without the power of faith, the golden puppet was no match for it. There was a muffled bang. The golden puppet was beaten back again and again, and as it retreated, the ground beneath its feet collapsed under its feet. Chapter 836. After repelling the golden puppet, the holy tree of the elves waved its branches straight at the City of Faith. The City of Faith could steal its power of faith, so it must be destroyed. Su Chen was already prepared for this. He immediately put away the City of Faith, making the attack of the holy tree of the elves fall through. However, even if it lost the power of faith, the power of the holy tree of the elves was beyond doubt. While Su Chen was pondering how to defeat the holy tree of the elves, Moon Spirit's voice sounded in his ear. "Su Chen, I can put away the Moonshine City." Was this true or false? Su Chen was inexplicably surprised. The reason why the holy tree of the elves could exert the strength of a saint-rank expert was mostly because of the Moonshine City. If the Moonshine City was put away, the holy tree of the elves would be suppressed by the power of the domain, and its cultivation base would fall to level 10. At that time, killing it would be as simple as pinching an ant. However, what made him somewhat puzzled was that, with the identity and status of the holy tree of the elves, shouldn't the Moonshine City be under its control? Why could Moon Spirit still control the Moonshine City? I really can. Moon Spirit nodded her head heavily, and then explained, only those with royal blood can control the Moonshine City, and among the elves, I am the only one with this bloodline. Su Chen did not care whether it was true or false, and hurriedly said, "How long will it take you to put away the Moonshine City?" "A few minutes or so." Moon Spirit quickly replied. "Then hurry up," Su Chen urged. At this time, the holy tree of the elves launched another attack. The gold-devouring beetles and the Vajra willow desperately tried to stop it, but they were directly smashed into the ground by a branch. Wu Yazi's situation was also very bad. The 18 shields had faintly cracked, and he feared that they would not last long before they were broken. Su Chen first put the seriously injured Qi Mufeng into the primal chaos space, and then said to Wu Yazi, "Senior, you guys join hands to protect Moon Spirit. I will deal with him." The Spirit Su Holy Tree didn't dare to use the power of faith, so its deterrence was greatly reduced. It wouldn't be a problem to deal with it for a while. Although Wu Yazi didn't know why Su Chen was doing this, he still followed Su Chen's instructions and went to Moon Spirit's side. The golden puppet, gold-devouring beetles, and diamond willow did the same. They worked together with Wu Yazi to protect Moon Spirit. On the other side, Su Chen was already engaged in a fierce battle with the elven sacred tree. From the looks of it, Su Chen was at a disadvantage, but he would not be defeated in a short period of time. While the man and the tree were fighting each other, the entire auction hall suddenly trembled as if there was an earthquake. Seeing this, the elven tribe's sacred tree's expression changed abruptly. He glanced at Moon Spirit and roared, "Moon Spirit, you be *tch. How dare you betray me?" The unusual movement in the auction venue was a sign that Moon Spirit was collecting the Moonshine City. Once the Moonshine City was taken away, it would be suppressed by the power of the domain, and it would have no advantage at all. Therefore, he had to stop Moon Spirit. "Human, you have forced me to do this." The elven tribe's sacred tree looked at Su Chen, its eyes full of bone-chilling coldness. As soon as those words fell, a red light flashed on its trunk, and the face of a seductive woman appeared. At the same time, the aura of the elven tribe's sacred tree rose steadily, and soon reached the second level of the sacred rank. Second level of the sacred rank. Wu Yazi's complexion completely changed, and his eyes were full of despair. The elven tribe's sacred tree, who was at the first level of the sacred rank, could crush them. When it reached the second level of the sacred rank, it was enough to destroy them. Chapter 837. Kakik. As soon as the seductive woman appeared, she sneered and then said to the elven sacred tree, "You need to call me out to kill a few ants. You are getting worse and worse." The elven sacred tree's face was sullen, and it snorted. "The human in front of me is a level 10 full-time cultivator. He has many magical powers and several sacred weapons, and one of them can absorb the power of my faith." Su Chen was 2 levels lower than it, but he could fight with it, which was enough to prove his strength. It was impossible to defeat Su Chen in a short time. In order to stop Moon Spirit, it could only summon the seductive woman. A mere human can have such strength. He is indeed a rare cultivation genius in the world. The seductive woman looked at Su Chen with interest and murmured thoughtfully, "You are an evil fruit tree, right?" Su Chen narrowed his eyes and said faintly. The aura emitted by the seductive woman was the same as the evil fruit tree that he had killed, which made him suspicious. Moreover, he finally understood why the elven sacred tree had killed so many people at the auction. It was likely to help the evil fruit tree devour the essence and blood of cultivators to improve its strength. "You know a lot. I am a little reluctant to kill you." The seductive woman chuckled. "Moon Spirit is collecting Moonshine City. Don't waste time." The elven sacred tree reminded her with a cold face. The seductive woman put away her smile and said flatly, "Don't worry, I only need one move to kill him." After saying that, she waved a blood-colored branch and smashed it toward Su Chen. In an instant, an extremely strong evil aura rushed toward Su Chen. If it were someone else, they would have lost their mind and become a puppet of the evil fruit tree under the shroud of this evil aura. However, Su Chen had the ancient god-demon body, which could restrain all evil demonic aura. Just as the blood-red branch was about to hit him, he moved his feet and disappeared from the spot like a ghost. How is this possible? Seeing that Su Chen was not affected in the slightest by the evil aura, the seductive woman involuntarily cried out. "I've long said that this kid isn't simple. Let's attack together and kill him." The elven sacred tree snorted and was about to attack. Su Chen, who was floating in the air, slowly pulled out a pitch-black saber. This saber was the enchanted saber. However, compared to before, the sharp aura that radiated from the blade was dozens of times stronger than before. It had reached the level of a saint artifact. Just now, when he was talking to the evil birth fruit tree, he had secretly spent dozens of level-up gems to upgrade the enchanted divine saber to the highest quality in one go. On top of that, he also consumed several magic fusion gems to fuse his ice magic and fire magic. The combination of the elven holy tree and the evil-born fruit tree had reached the second stage of the saint rank. Once he attacked Moon Spirit, no one would be able to stop him. Therefore, before the other party attacked, Su Chen decided to deal a fatal blow. Although it was his first time fusing and he did not know the specific power, he was incomparably confident. He believed that as long as this saber was swung out, the other party would inevitably suffer heavy losses. "Don't waste time, let's attack together." The elven holy tree was a little anxious and waved a branch straight toward Su Chen. At this time, the auction hall was shaking even more violently. This was a sign that the Moonshine City was about to be taken away, and it must be stopped as soon as possible. Kill. The evil-born fruit tree did not hesitate and waved a blood-colored branch to fly out. Chapter 838. Su Chen's expression was solemn as he suddenly slashed down with his saber. A torrent of red and white shot out from it. At the same time, the 8-waste destruction flame and the bone-chilling netherworld flame merged with it. Instantly, a fiery aura like a volcanic eruption and a cold aura like a glacier appeared in the auction house at the same time. The fusion of the two completely different magical auras, together with the support of the two mystical flames, produced a power that shook the heavens and earth, giving off a feeling that the world was about to be destroyed. What kind of divine ability was this? The elven sacred tree and the evil fruit tree were so frightened that they could not stop trembling. They wanted to escape immediately. Wu Yazi was also inexplicably shocked. He opened his mouth wide and could not close it for a long time. Su Chen's attack was extremely terrifying. Under the devastating pressure, the entire auction house seemed to be on the verge of collapse. Those who were lucky enough to survive all crawled on the ground, trembling. Even the sage-level powerhouses were no exception. In the next moment, the torrent of ice and fire poured down and easily crushed the two branches into fine powder. Then, it heavily hit the elven sacred tree's body. The elven sacred tree was immediately frozen and then melted into a mist under the scorching heat. In the blink of an eye, the elven sacred tree's huge body turned into nothingness. Su Chen actually killed a Stage 2 sage-level powerhouse. Wu Yazi's eyes widened, and the corners of his mouth trembled. Even though he had seen it with his own eyes, he still felt that it was unbelievable. It's not dead yet. Su Chen narrowed his eyes and muttered. Although the elven sacred tree and the evil fruit tree were gone, they did not drop any fragments. This meant that they were not dead yet. However, he did not have the spare energy to investigate now. After such a shocking attack, he felt weak all over, as if he had been hollowed out. A feeling of extreme weakness welled up in his heart. Su Chen slowly floated to Wu Yazi's side and panted heavily. Su Chen, are you all right? Wu Yazi asked worriedly when he felt that Su Chen's aura was a little weak. I'm fine. Su Chen smirked and turned to look at the direction where the elven holy tree had sent the message. Senior, they shouldn't be dead yet. Be careful. Not dead yet? Wu Yazi's expression turned cold as he vigilantly scanned his surroundings. Suddenly, two palm-sized plants, one red and one green, emerged from the ground in the distance. Above their heads floated a stone bowl that was about 10 feet in size. It was filled with a green liquid that emitted an extremely rich aura of life. Suddenly, the stone bowl tilted down slightly, and a large amount of liquid poured onto the two plants. The next moment, a strange scene appeared. After the two plants absorbed the liquid, they grew rapidly. In the blink of an eye, they were more than 10 feet tall. Moreover, their auras rose steadily and soon, they reached level 10. That stone bowl is the spirit spring of life. They're using the spirit spring to recover their cultivation. Wu Yazi roared. Su Chen hadn't recovered yet. Once he returned to the Saint Realm, they would all be in danger. However, it was too late to stop it now. Su Chen was also anxious, but his current state didn't allow him to make a move. At this critical moment, Moon Spirit opened her mouth and said, Su Chen, I have complete control of Moonshine City. I can collect it now. Hearing this, Su Chen let out a long sigh of relief and hurriedly said, Hurry up and collect it. There was a rumbling sound. After a burst of earth shaking, Su Chen only felt a blur in front of his eyes. When his line of sight became clear, he found that he had come to a flat land. At this time, Moon Spirit was holding a small silver city in her hands. From the outside, it was Moonshine City that had shrunk countless times. Chapter 839. We've already left Moonshine City. Wu Yazi laughed heartily. After leaving Moonshine City, they would be suppressed by the power of the domain, and the elven sacred tree and the evil-born fruit tree would no longer be able to exert the strength of sacred rank. Senior, let's do it together. Su Chen reminded. Now was the perfect opportunity to kill the elven sacred tree. They must not give it a chance to breathe and escape. Kill! Wu Yazi yelled and rushed forward. Before in Moonshine City, he was suppressed to the point of vomiting blood. Now was the time to take revenge. The golden puppet, gold-devouring beetles, and Vajra Willow also rushed up together. Just in case, Su Chen opened the primal chaos space and summoned Li Kuei-yang and others. Su Chen, are you all right? Shang Xili stared at Su Chen and asked anxiously. Previously, they learned from Qi Mufeng that a sacred tree that could exert the strength of sacred rank had appeared in the auction. They were all worried about the safety of Su Chen. Sect Master, rest assured, we're all right. Su Chen smiled and then said, now that we've left Moonshine City, and that guy's cultivation has been suppressed, you can help Senior Wu Yazi. Shang Xili breathed a sigh of relief and then joined the others to besiege the elven sacred tree. At this time, Qi Mufeng walked to Su Chen's side and asked, Su Chen, how did you leave Moonshine City? In the primal chaos space, he took some top healing sacred medicines and soon woke up. His injuries were almost healed. After seeing so many experts besieging the elven sacred tree, he did not join in. This is thanks to Princess Moon Spirit. She put away Moonshine City. Otherwise, we would all be in danger. Su Chen glanced at the Moonshine City in Moon Spirit's hand and explained. Many thanks to Princess Moon Spirit for her help. Qi Mufeng said solemnly. Although he said so, he still had some doubts in his heart. Since Moon Spirit was the princess of the elven race, she should be on the same side as the elven sacred tree. Why would she help them? Senior, you're too polite. Moon Spirit was a little embarrassed. She stole a glance at Su Chen and said, speaking of which, I have to thank Su Chen. If it wasn't for him, I would have been killed. Qi Mufeng was knocked out, so he didn't know what happened after that. He asked curiously, what happened after that? Moon Spirit started from when she was rescued by Su Chen. She told him everything that had happened afterward. Qi Mufeng's jaw dropped when he heard that Su Chen had almost killed the elven race's holy tree. Originally, he thought that Su Chen's fighting skill of 10,000 lights 10 shadows was his strongest skill. He did not expect that Su Chen still had such a fatal move. To be able to destroy a second-level Saint Realm expert was simply unimaginable and unimaginable. He even thought that if it weren't for the spirit spring of life, the elven sacred tree would have been killed by Su Chen. Qi Mufeng took a deep breath, looked at Su Chen, and probed, Su Chen, you still have such a killing move? Su Chen smiled faintly, it's just a little trick. Little trick? Qi Mufeng was slightly stunned. He felt that Su Chen was too modest. This guy is really powerful. Su Chen glanced in the direction of the elven sacred tree, and his brows wrinkled slightly. The elven sacred tree and the evil-born fruit tree had fused together. Its strength was extremely powerful, and there was a steady stream of spirit spring of life to heal its injuries. Therefore, even if it was completely suppressed by a group of powerhouses, it had been resisting tenaciously. Chapter 840. Su Chen glanced at it, then turned to Moon Spirit and asked, Moon Spirit, when did the elven sacred tree and the evil fruit tree get together? I don't know either. Moon Spirit shook her head, then guessed, the sacred tree's lifespan is coming to an end. Maybe it wants to live, so it cooperated with the evil fruit tree. Su Chen felt that this possibility was quite high. Some powerhouses were very unwilling when their lifespan was coming to an end. Some did not hesitate to turn into zombies, while others took the initiative to enter the abandoned land. It was reasonable for the elven sacred tree to cooperate with the evil fruit tree in order to survive. Su Chen, I'll go and help them. Seeing that Wu Yazi and the others could not do anything to the elven sacred tree, Chi Mufeng was a little anxious. "Let me do it," Su Chen replied. Chi Mufeng was injured. Even if he used the 10,000 lightning sword transformation technique, he might not be able to hurt the elven sacred tree. He had rested for a while and had basically recovered. "All right then." Chi Mufeng nodded. He had a deep understanding of Su Chen's strength. It was simply beyond his understanding. Su Chen would not have any problems dealing with the elven sacred tree personally. "Everyone stop. Let me teach this guy a lesson." Su Chen stepped forward and said loudly. Wu Yazi and the others did not hesitate at all and retreated together. "Human, let me live. I can give you the spring of life." The elven sacred tree looked at Su Chen cautiously and said in a negotiating tone. Su Chen's previous slash had left an indelible shadow in its heart. Even a stage 2 sacred rank could not stop it. Now that it was only level 10, there was no chance of survival. "If I kill you, won't the spring of life still be mine?" Su Chen curled his lips and sneered. In this battle, he had used up all his energy points. He needed to replenish some. The elven sacred tree was a sacred rank existence. Killing it would definitely drop a lot of fragments. Therefore, even if the elven race's holy tree had a lot of tricks up its sleeves, it still couldn't escape death. Whoosh! Su Chen activated his full speed and appeared in front of the elven race's holy tree in the blink of an eye. He held the integrated 5 extremes mountain and smashed it down. "I'll kill you." The holy tree of the elf race roared and swung its branches at Su Chen. Although he knew that he was no match for Su Chen, he would not sit still and wait for death. Moreover, he didn't put up any defenses. He was actually planning to fight to the death with Su Chen. Seeing this, Su Chen scoffed and allowed the branches to hit his body. In the next moment, all the branches smashed onto Su Chen's body, but they all bounced off strangely, not even tickling him. Witnessing this strange scene, not only was the elven sacred tree stunned, but even Chi Muyu and the others, who did not know Su Chen well, widened their eyes. They could not understand how Su Chen could ignore these attacks. Just as the elven sacred tree was stunned, the integrated 5 extremes mountain came down on its head. There was a loud boom. The elven sacred tree was heavily smashed to the ground, and even the ground was filled with dense cracks. Su Chen walked up and used the 100 times strength technique. His hands were flying as he tore at the branches of the elven sacred tree. Crack! The crisp sound of something breaking could be heard without end. Under Su Chen's ravaging, the elven sacred tree became a bare tree trunk in the blink of an eye. Chapter 841. Too ferocious. Too brutal. Witnessing this scene, Chi Muyu and the others were speechless. They could see clearly that Su Chen could easily kill the elven sacred tree, but he used such a method. It was undoubtedly torturing the elven sacred tree. "Sister, in the future, in front of Su Chen, you must be low-key. Don't provoke him." Chi Muyu pulled Chi Mushue's arm and reminded her in a low voice. "Got it." Chi Mushue nodded with lingering fear. Previously, she had fought with Su Chen and quarreled with him. Now that she thought about it, she was a little scared. "Human, kill me if you have the ability." After being tortured by Su Chen, the elven sacred tree had nothing to live for and roared angrily. "Don't worry, I will kill you." Su Chen's mouth showed a hint of mockery, and then he smashed down with the primary 5 poles mountain. After several hits, the thick trunk of the elven sacred tree was broken into several sections, and some parts were even smashed into powder. When he was in Moonshine City, the elven sacred tree was extremely arrogant, which made him hold back his anger. If he did not teach it a lesson, how could he calm the anger in his heart? "I will not let you go even if I become a ghost." The elven sacred tree, with only a face left, was extremely weak, but it gritted its teeth and growled. "Even if you become a ghost, I can still destroy you." Su Chen snorted coldly and blasted the elven sacred tree with a punch, and then took a demon core from its trunk. Compared with ordinary demon cores, this demon core was red and green in color, and it was mixed with a strong evil aura. Obviously, this was the result of fusing with the evil fruit tree. Su Chen glanced at it and put it into the storage pouch. Then, he took the spring of life in his hand. After being consumed by the elven sacred tree, the spiritual liquid inside was less than a quarter of the original. Even so, it still exuded a rich aura of life. Su Chen's heart skipped a beat, and he activated the planting dimension to communicate with the longevity fruit tree. Satoshi, have you heard of the Fountain of Life? He wanted to confirm whether the Spring of Life really had the effect of accelerating the growth of spirit plants through the longevity fruit tree. I've heard of it. The longevity fruit tree nodded and said, the Spring of Life is actually a high-quality sacred artifact. The spiritual liquid it produces can accelerate the growth of spiritual plants and can also be used to heal injuries. The Spring of Life was a divine artifact? Su Chen raised his eyebrows and asked, then how does it produce the spiritual liquid? Originally, he thought that the amount of spiritual liquid in the Spring of Life was fixed and that there would be no more after it was used up. However, according to the longevity fruit tree, the spirit Spring of Life seemed to be able to automatically produce spirit liquid. If that was the case, it would be like adding wings to a tiger for him. Because in the planting space, there were still many spiritual plants waiting to be irrigated. The method is very simple. As long as you add energy stones into the Spring of Life, it will automatically convert into spiritual liquid. The higher the quality of the energy stones, the higher the conversion ratio, the longevity fruit tree said. Su Chen was overjoyed. He immediately sent the Spring of Life into the planting space, and said to the longevity fruit tree, Little longevity, see if this is the Spring of Life. Master, this is the Spring of Life. The longevity fruit tree was extremely excited. At the same time, it was secretly amazed by Su Chen's ability to get any kind of treasure. I'll leave the Spring of Life to you. Hurry up and mature the primordial spirit-shaping fruit tree. Su Chen instructed and left a large number of energy stones. Then, he closed the planting space. Chapter 842. Then, Su Chen collected the fragments, took out the intelligent war chariot, and asked everyone to get on. After Moonlight City was taken by Moon Spirit, the people who originally lived in the city were scattered around. They gathered together, and the scene was extremely chaotic. Su Chen didn't like this kind of noisy place, so he let the intelligent war chariot leave. After arriving at a quieter place, Su Chen said to Moon Spirit, your mechanical heart and that saint-level puppet are useful to me, so I won't give them to you. However, I will give you something as compensation. No need, I'll give them to you. Moon Spirit didn't care. It was thanks to Su Chen's help that she was able to survive this time. Giving away the mechanical heart and saint-level puppet was only right. Su Chen nodded slightly. He definitely had to give her something. After all, the value of the mechanical heart and saint-level puppet was obvious. It was just that he didn't have anything suitable for the time being. Where did you get the mechanical heart and saint-level puppet? Su Chen continued to ask. They were given to me by the holy tree. Moon Spirit didn't hide anything. Su Chen could imagine that the holy tree of the elven race must have used the mechanical heart and saint-level puppet as bait to attract more cultivators to the auction. Unfortunately, he went for wool and came home shorn, and all the good things fell into his hands. You guys take a rest first. Su Chen said and opened the storage bag to contact the golden puppet. Otetsu, those two puppets are also from your mechanical race, right? Yes. The golden puppet replied affirmatively, and then said gratefully, Su Chen, thank you for helping me find my clansmen. There were very few mechanical race clansmen in the world, and Su Chen could find two of them at once, which made him very excited. His gratitude to Su Chen was also from the bottom of his heart. You're welcome. Su Chen smiled. With two more saint-level puppets, his strength would also soar. Therefore, the golden puppet's gratitude was unnecessary. What level of cultivation are your two clansmen at? Can I still fight like you after installing the mechanical heart? Su Chen asked. This was what he was more concerned about. Because soon, he would enter the void. The dangers in the void were unpredictable, and he urgently needed to improve his combat strength. They're all at the first level of the saint rank. They'll definitely wake up once the mechanical heart is installed. The golden puppet paused for a moment before continuing. However, they're all support type and don't have much combat power. Support type? Su Chen frowned slightly. If they didn't have any combat power, wouldn't they become two pieces of scrap metal? But why would a saint-level puppet have no fighting power? He couldn't figure it out. The golden puppet explained, support-type puppets can also be called combo puppets. Only when they are combined can they unleash their greatest power. Forming a transformer? Su Chen raised his eyebrows. He still remembered that when he was on Jiao Su Island on the human continent, the puppet clan had merged two steel puppets together. After the merger, the puppets' level directly increased by 1 level. The two puppets of the mechanical race were both at the saint level. When they were combined, how powerful would their strength be? Su Chen was a little expectant, so he asked, Otetsu, are they a pair? Or a combination of multiple puppets? No. The golden puppet replied, and then explained, they're all installed on me. Chapter 843. Su Chen paused for a moment, then asked, what level can you reach if I install it? Every time I install one, it'll increase by 1 level. I can install a maximum of 5, said the golden puppet. Hiss. Su Chen gasped, then hurriedly asked, what level are you at? Level 1. Hearing this, Su Chen clenched his fists, his face filled with excitement. If he could install 5 of them, wouldn't the golden puppet become a 6th level saint rank expert? It would be a level higher than the Qi family's ancestor, and it would be an existence that could do whatever it wanted in the void. But so far, he only had 2 puppets, and he only knew the whereabouts of one of the remaining 3. Also, without the mechanical heart, even if he found all of them, he wouldn't be able to wake them up. So, if he wanted to help the golden puppet reach level 6 saint, it would be a long way to go. After that, Su Chen and the golden puppet talked about the machine empire for a while, then closed the storage pouch. Then, he began to organize the fragments. Although he had only killed 1 sacred tree, its level was very high. Hence, it had dropped nearly 10,000 fragments. Su Chen spent more than an hour organizing the fragments, then exchanged a bottle of level 7 constitution potion, and gave it to Moon Spirit. The value of the potion couldn't compare to the mechanical heart and the saint rank puppet, but he was in a hurry to leave, so he didn't have anything better to offer. Su Chen, what's this? Moon Spirit had never seen a constitution potion before, so she asked curiously. Su Chen explained, it's a potion that can increase one's cultivation. After consuming it, you'll immediately increase by 1 level. Hearing this, Moon Spirit's expression changed, and the hand holding the vitality potion started to tremble. There were items that could increase one's cultivation, but each one of them was extremely precious. Moreover, Su Chen gave her something that could increase one's cultivation by 1 level, which made it even more precious. Su Chen, thank you, but this is too precious. I can't accept it. Moon Spirit returned the physique potion to Su Chen. Su Chen didn't take it. He said, we're about to leave this place. You should keep it to level up. That way, you'll be able to protect yourself. You're leaving so soon. Moon Spirit's expression darkened. There are still many things waiting to be dealt with. Su Chen nodded. It was urgent to find the Tree of Life. Since the matter here was over, they naturally had to return to the human world as soon as possible. Moon Spirit pondered for a long time. She gritted her teeth and said, Su Chen, can I follow you? Follow us? Su Chen furrowed his brows slightly. Moon Spirit was the princess of the elves. If she left, wouldn't the elves fall into chaos? Thinking of this, Su Chen probed, if you leave, who will control the elf tribe? What about your mother and Elder Yuchi? Elder Feather 7 had always been inseparable from Moon Spirit, but he didn't see her this time, which surprised Su Chen. No one controls the elves. Even if I stay, I won't be able to control them. Moon Spirit sighed faintly and then said, as for my mother and Elder Feather 7, they disappeared inexplicably some time ago. At first, I had some doubts, but now I'm basically sure that they must have been killed by the holy tree. Su Chen nodded slightly. He somewhat understood why Moon Spirit wanted to follow him. With Moon Spirit's strength alone, without the help of strong people, it was indeed difficult for her to gain a foothold in the elves. Moreover, she also had a precious treasure in Moonshine City, which could attract the attention of others. For all they knew, Moon Spirit might have been killed by someone the moment they left. Chapter 844. Then you can follow us. Su Chen agreed. In fact, it was also very beneficial for him to have Moon Spirit by his side. After all, the Moonshine City was a top sacred tool. At the critical moment, it could trap the opponent and beat them up. Thank you, Su Chen. Moon Spirit was overjoyed. Since he had promised Moon Spirit, he would let her get familiar with everyone. Subsequently, Su Chen opened the chaos space, had a simple conversation with Tan Lin, introduced Moon Spirit's situation, and sent Moon Spirit into the chaos space. Brother Qi, I'm going to return to the human continent soon. What are your plans? Su Chen came to Qi Mufeng's side and asked. I came out this time mainly to gain experience. It's the same wherever I go. I've long wanted to see the human continent, so I'll go with you. After Qi Mufeng finished speaking, he looked at Qi Muyu and Qi Mushua. What about you too? I want to go too. Qi Mushua did not hesitate at all, but when she saw Su Chen staring at her, she lowered her head in fear. I have nothing else to do, so I'll go with you, Qi Muyu said with a smile. This time, they came to the elf continent mainly to exchange for the mechanical heart. Unexpectedly, so many things happened in the middle. They did not get the mechanical heart, but instead lost a bottle of life spirit liquid and a saint-rank puppet. However, fortunately, Qi Mufeng and Su Chen became brothers. Compared to that, it was still a profit. Because a character like Su Chen would sooner or later become the strongest in the void. Having such a strong friend was not something that a bottle of life spirit liquid and a puppet could compare to. In that case, let's go together. Su Chen readily agreed. Qi Mufeng was a saint rank, and Qi Muyu and Qi Mushue were both level 10 powerhouses. They could be of more help by his side. Satoshi, go back the way we came. Su Chen ordered. The best way to return to the human continent as soon as possible was to go back from where they came from. Yes. The intelligent war chariot received the order and sped in a certain direction. Su Chen sat in the driver's seat, closed his eyes, and began to think. The trip to the elf continent could be said to be extremely dangerous. It could be said that this was the most dangerous situation he had ever encountered since his debut. However, danger and reward were often proportional. The harvest this time was incomparably bountiful. Life Spirit Fluid, Life Spirit Spring Water, 2 saint-grade puppets, and a mechanical heart were all priceless treasures. In addition, he also took the opportunity to obtain a large number of fragments. Moreover, this was not the main point. More importantly, he had created a brand new killer move. The combination of ice and fire magic, coupled with the attack of 2 types of strange flames, was enough to destroy heaven and earth. Even a second stage saint rank would not be able to withstand it. Clearly, this killer move had become his strongest trump card. However, after using this killer move, he would be weakened for a period of time, so he could not use it casually. The intelligent war chariot traveled for 3 days and successfully found the boundary point that connected to the Horned Demon continent. Just as it was about to activate the travel function, the swift bird suddenly warned, "Master, danger is approaching." Su Chen raised his eyebrows and immediately ordered, "Satoshi, search the surroundings." The swift bird's ability to predict danger had been proven. Since it said so, there must be danger. Master, 2 people of another race are approaching us. The intelligent war chariot searched for a while and quickly replied. What are their cultivation levels? Su Chen asked. A level 10 cultivator and a saint rank powerhouse. Saint rank? Su Chen narrowed his eyes and said in a low voice, Satoshi, enlarge their image. Chapter 845. The image on the central control screen changed, and soon, the figures of 2 young men appeared. In terms of appearance, the 2 of them were no different from humans. But it was worth noting that one of them would flash with lightning from time to time, while the other was glowing with a faint green light. It was as if he had unintentionally released his magic power. It was very strange. It's Gu Chuan and Gu Lin from the Gu family. Qi Mufeng's expression changed slightly after seeing their faces. Gu family? Su Chen pondered and asked, Brother Qi, is the Gu family very famous? Qi Mufeng nodded and said, the Gu family and our Qi family are about the same in strength. They are called the 10 hidden families in the void. 10 hidden families? Su Chen's eyelids twitched. The Qi family had a stage 5 saint. In that case, there were too many strong people in the void. Brother Qi, which family is the Gu family from? Su Chen asked curiously. Although Gu Chuan and Gu Lin looked like humans, there was no way they were human. They are from the spirit race. Qi Mufeng replied and then reminded him, the spirit race can be said to be one of the strongest races in the universe. One of the most powerful races? Su Chen was confused. Weren't the 5 super races the most powerful races? How come there was another spirit race? The spirit race is stronger than the 5 super races? Su Chen probed. The 5 super races are the most powerful races on the continent, not including the races in the void. There are many races in the void that are stronger than the 5 super races, including us, the Capricorn race, Qi Mufeng explained. Oh. Su Chen was enlightened and then asked, what are the characteristics of the spirit race? Every member of the spirit race is the perfect combination of a Dharma psychic and an evolver, so they are much stronger than others of the same level. Qi Mufeng replied. Then he pointed at one of the spirit race people. He's called Guchuan. He's at the first stage of the saint stage. His lightning spells are very mysterious. Even I would suffer a bit if I were to face him. That means he still has some strength. Su Chen muttered to himself. He had seen Qi Mufeng's strength before. Even if they were both level 10, the gold-devouring beetles and steel willow might not be his match. Gu Chuan was slightly stronger than Qi Mufeng and was definitely considered a top-notch expert. However, Su Chen could not figure out why Gu Chuan and Gu Lin were here. He had never interacted with the spirit race before. Brother Qi, is there a grudge between the Qi family and the Gu family? Su Chen asked. He suspected that the 2 from the Gu family were here for Qi Mufeng. I don't think so. Qi Mufeng shook his head and said slowly, although the Qi family and the Gu family are not on good terms, there definitely won't be any conflict between us. Then they're here for me? Su Chen narrowed his eyes. Whether it was true or not, he would know when the other party came over. After a while, Gu Chuan and his brother came to the intelligent war chariot. The 2 sized up the intelligent war chariot, and Gu Chuan said loudly, Su Chen, I know you're inside. Come out, don't be a coward. They're really here for me. Su Chen clicked his tongue and opened the door to get out. Qi Mufeng and the others also got out of the car. Seeing so many people get out of the car, including the 3 from the Qi family, Gu Chuan's expression froze, but he quickly recovered and said, Who is Su Chen? I am. Su Chen rubbed his nose and took a step forward. Chapter 846. You're just as the rumors say. Gu Chuan glanced at Su Chen and said thoughtfully. Gentlemen, why are you looking for me? Su Chen said calmly. To kill you. Gu Lin's eyes were filled with disdain as he said coldly. Hearing this, Wu Yazi and the others all laughed. A mere level 10 cultivator wants to kill Su Chen? What a joke. Isn't he afraid of biting his tongue? You? Su Chen narrowed his eyes at Gu Lin and snorted. I definitely can't kill you, but my big brother can easily kill you. Gu Lin replied. Why do you want to kill me? Su Chen wasn't angry. Instead, he said calmly. They had no grudges, but they came to kill him. Could it be that someone ordered them to do so? It's simple. The Human Alliance and the Alien Race Alliance both issued a kill order for you. I happen to know about this, so I killed you while I was at it. Gu Chuan didn't hide anything and said honestly. He looked like he had Su Chen in his grasp. You probably haven't heard of my deeds, right? Su Chen chuckled. He had even killed a saint-level gold-devouring bug before. This was enough to prove his strength. And Gu Chuan still dared to kill him. He suspected that Gu Chuan didn't know much about him. Of course I know. Gu Chuan snorted and said frankly, you're known as the youngest genius in the history of the human race. Countless experts have died in your hands. Among them, your most glorious achievement is killing a saint-level human and a saint-level gold-devouring bug of the holy demon race. Since you know, you still dare to come? Su Chen didn't quite understand. Gu Chuan was only slightly stronger than Qi Mufeng. Why was he so confident? I can't help it. Because I have a special hobby. I like to kill geniuses. People call me the Genius Destroyer. Gu Chuan said naturally. His expression looked very calm, but there was no doubt that he was extremely arrogant. Genius Destroyer? Wu Yazi and the others were stunned. They all wondered if Gu Chuan was an idiot. It was one thing for him to call himself the Genius Destroyer in front of others, but he dared to call himself that in front of Su Chen. Wasn't he seeking his own death? This brat is even crazier than me. Su Chen couldn't help but click his tongue. All along, he felt that his style of doing things was arrogant and domineering enough, but compared to Gu Chuan, it was still a little insignificant. Genius of destruction? Special hobby? This act of pretentiousness was very loud. Since you want to destroy me, then hurry up. I'll be waiting for you here. Su Chen said loudly. He didn't intend to let Gu Chuan continue pretending. Su Chen, I'll give you one more chance. All of you can come at me together. Gu Chuan didn't attack. Instead, he reminded him. Attack together? Did he really think that he was invincible? Wu Yazi and the others were furious. What an idiot. Qi Mushue couldn't help but curse. Although she hated Su Chen a little, she had to admit that Su Chen was powerful. That day, so many of them surrounded the elf race's sacred tree, but they couldn't do anything to it. On the other hand, Su Chen went up alone and dismembered the elf race's sacred tree in no time. His powerful strength was obvious. Gu Chuan still wanted to kill Su Chen. His brain must have been damaged. Since you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish. Su Chen moved his feet and turned into a flash of light, charging straight at Gu Chuan. So fast. Gu Lin was shocked and quickly retreated. Gu Chuan, on the other hand, had a calm expression. He snorted coldly and a destructive blue light instantly appeared on his body. At the same time, a violent wave of lightning magic spread out from his body. Chapter 847. A lightning-type spell beyond level 10. Wu Yazi and the rest were shocked. They could clearly sense that Gu Chuan's lightning-type spell was very likely at the first stage of the saint level. You think too highly of yourself. Qi Mufeng sneered, not worried about Su Chen at all. Su Chen could even destroy a second-stage saint-level expert. Gu Chuan was nothing. Fighting with Su Chen was like hitting a rock with an egg. Su Chen, die. Guchuan condensed a huge lightning ball and waited for Su Chen to come over so that he could completely destroy Su Chen. "You're too naive." Su Chen's lips curled into a mocking smile. As he neared, he punched from afar. This punch looked ordinary, but it actually contained the intent realm magical power, drunken life. It was formless and silent. Guchuan was enveloped by drunken life, and instantly fell into a daze. Su Chen took the opportunity to rush forward. A huge yellow sword appeared in his hand. It was Sword of Prohibition. In an instant, a wave of forbidden power spread out. The lightning ball in Guchuan's hand disappeared. At this moment, Guchuan broke free from his daze. When he saw a huge yellow sword slashing towards him, he was terrified. He was so scared that his entire body trembled, and he instinctively began to cast a lightning-type spell. But to his horror, he realized that he couldn't use it. It was as if the connection between the two had been severed. What's going on? While Guchuan was still in a daze, he suddenly heard the sound of flesh being pierced. Then, his consciousness started to blur until he completely disappeared. Even when he died, he didn't know how he died. Su Chen slashed down and cut off Guchuan's head. Then, he punched and turned Guchuan's head into dust. There was a loud bang. Guchuan's headless corpse fell to the ground. Hiss! Wu Yazi and the others sucked in a breath of cold air as shock filled their eyes. They all knew that Su Chen could kill Guchuan, but they never expected it to be so simple. One slash and one punch, and he killed him instantly. It was as if he was killing a chicken. It was too unbelievable. Big brother is dead, Gulin swallowed hard. His face was drained of color and his breathing stopped. He couldn't believe it. His elder brother was the #1 genius of the Gu clan's younger generation. He had killed countless geniuses and powerhouses. How could he be killed by Su Chen so easily? At this moment, he even wondered if he was dreaming. But the reality in front of him told him that this was not a dream. Guchuan had indeed been killed by Su Chen. After collecting the fragments, Su Chen looked at Gulin. Being glanced at by Su Chen, Gulin felt like he was being stared at by the devil. He trembled and broke out in a cold sweat. He was so scared that he almost peed his pants. What a piece of trash. Seeing Gulin's cowardice, Su Chen snorted and walked toward him. "Don't come any closer," Gulin shouted in a trembling voice. He turned around and ran away in fear. However, it was obviously impossible to escape from Su Chen's hands. Just as Gulin turned around, Su Chen released his mind power. Gulin felt like he was in a swamp. He couldn't even move, let alone run away. "Su Chen, I'm a direct descendant of the Gu clan. Our Grand Elder is a stage 5 saint. If you kill me, he won't let you go." Afraid that Su Chen would kill him, Gulin quickly revealed his identity. "You talk too much." Su Chen broke one of Gulin's legs and kicked him to the ground. Chapter 848. Ah! Gulin covered his thigh with his hands and screamed like a pig being slaughtered. A level 10 cultivator couldn't even bear this pain? Su Chen looked at him with disdain. He lifted his foot and stepped on Gulin's other thigh. He asked coldly, "How did you know I was here?" After leaving the original location of Moonlight City, he didn't stop and didn't interact with anyone else. "How did they find him?" "We received news that you came to the elf tribe and appeared nearby, so we've been waiting for you here." Gulin didn't dare to hide anything and told him the truth. "Oh." Su Chen nodded and stepped on Gulin's thigh. Crack. Gulin's other thigh broke. "I've told you everything. Why do you still want to torture me?" Gulin roared angrily. Su Chen curled his lips and said mockingly, "Because I like it." Gulin was stunned. At this moment, Su Chen was a real devil in his eyes. Crack, with the sound of bones breaking, Gulin was finally turned into a pile of meat paste. After collecting the fragments, Su Chen returned to the original place and called everyone to get in the car. Su Chen, the Gu family isn't an ordinary force. You must be careful when you travel in the void in the future. Qi Mufeng reminded him as soon as they got in the car. Su Chen nodded. Don't worry. I'll be careful. After all, the Gu family had a level 5 saint-level expert. It was indeed worth paying attention to. Qi Mufeng was slightly relieved. He asked in a low voice, Lin Yu, what are we doing here? At first, he thought there was a realm passage here, but there wasn't even a shadow of one here. How were they going to return to the human continent? Just break through the realm here and go through? Su Chen smiled faintly. Go through the realm directly? Qi Mufeng's mouth was slightly open. He was shocked by Su Chen's words. Everyone knew that if one wanted to go from one realm to another, they could only go through a transmission formation or a realm passage. He didn't possess either of these two things, so how was he supposed to travel? While Qi Mufeng was still in a daze, Su Chen had already given the order, Satoshi, initiate the shuttle. Yes. The intelligent war chariot received the order, and a bright silver light appeared on the body of the chariot as it soared into the sky. Using the MCV to travel between realms? Qi Mufeng was astonished. However, at this moment, he suddenly felt the world spinning as if he was in the middle of a teleportation. After a few breaths, when his vision gradually became clear, he discovered that he was in the middle of a plane. He really did it. Qi Mufeng clicked his tongue. Su Chen's MCV actually had the ability to travel between domains, which was completely beyond his understanding. Taking a deep breath, he turned to Su Chen and asked, Su Chen, is this the human world? This is the Horned Demon continent. We still have to make another trip before we can enter the human continent. Su Chen replied and then ordered the intelligent war chariot to find the boundary point that connected to the human clan's continent. 3 days later, the intelligent war chariot successfully entered the human continent. Su Chen glanced at the central control screen, then turned to the intelligent war chariot, and said, Satoshi, head to Qingyun Island. This place was not very far from Qingyun Island. With the speed of the intelligent war chariot, it would take 3 to 5 days to arrive. Brother Qi, let me teach you how to play a game. Since there was nothing to do on the way, Su Chen simply invited Qi Mufeng to play Do Diju. Play a game? Qi Mufeng was dumbfounded. How could a grown man like him have the nerve to play a game? He originally wanted to refuse, but he couldn't resist Su Chen's enthusiasm, so he could only bite the bullet and play along. Chapter 849. On the 4th day, the intelligent chariot entered a mountain range on Qingyun Island. Qingyun Island was said to be an island, but the area was very large, similar to a small continent. Satoshi, is this the Yunluo mountain range? Su Chen asked. The Tree of Life appeared in a secret realm in the Yunluo mountain range, so the first thing to do was to determine the location of the Yunluo mountain range. Master, this is the Tiansong mountain range, the intelligent chariot immediately replied. Tiansong mountain range? Su Chen pondered and then asked, search the Yunluo mountain range and check its specific location. A few seconds later, the central control screen showed the location of the Yunluo mountain range. Su Chen glanced at it, but his brows furrowed slightly. The place where he was now was very far away from the Yunluo mountain range, almost across the entire Qingyun Island. Even if the intelligent chariot ran at full speed, it would take 10 days to half a month to reach there. Su Chen sighed, Satoshi, go to the Yunluo mountain range. For the Tree of Life, even if it was far away, he had to go. Yes. The intelligent chariot started the flight function and went straight in the direction of the Yunluo mountain range. Because the flying spirit stone installed before was almost exhausted, the current speed was not as fast as on the ground. However, the environment here was complicated, so it could only be passed by flying. Seeing that the intelligent chariot could still fly, Qi Mufeng was shocked again. Su Chen, where did you buy this MCV? Chi Muyu asked curiously. A magical MCV like the intelligent chariot aroused her strong interest, and she sincerely hoped that she could have one. It was given by God. Su Chen smiled mysteriously. The intelligent chariot was dropped from the fragment, and it was not an exaggeration to say that it was given by God. Seeing that Su Chen didn't want to say, Chi Muyu sighed faintly. After the intelligent chariot flew for half an hour, the swift bird suddenly said excitedly, "Master, I feel the existence of a spirit stone." Not only could the swift bird predict danger, but it also had the ability to search for treasures. The things it mentioned should be of great value. What is spirit gathering stone? Su Chen asked anxiously. Before Swift Bird could say anything, Chi Mufeng, who was beside her, beat her to it and said, "The spirit gathering stone only has one use, which is to increase the power of the mystical fire." You mean to say that as long as I let the mysterious flame devour it, I can level up? Su Chen's eyes lit up. The 8 waste destruction flame and the bone-chilling netherworld flame were only at level 8, but the power they displayed was not to be underestimated. If it could continue to level up, the power it could unleash would definitely increase by another level. Yes. Chi Mufeng replied affirmatively. Su Chen took a deep breath and asked, "Shao Sun, where is the spirit gathering stone?" "It's right below us," Swift Bird immediately replied. "Satoshi, descend," Su Chen ordered. As the intelligent chariot descended, it suddenly reminded him, "Master, there is a large group of cultivators below, and 2 of them have reached level 10. Could it be that they are all here for the spirit gathering stone?" Su Chen guessed, and his gaze fell on the central control screen. At this time, the central control screen clearly showed that a human was surrounded by more than 10 other humans. The situation was tense, and it looked like a big fight was about to break out. Seeing this, Su Chen asked the intelligent chariot, "Satoshi, can you sense the existence of the spirit gathering stone?" The intelligent chariot also had the ability to sense special ores, but its ability was far inferior to the swift bird. But as the distance got closer, he believed that the intelligent chariot could sense it too. Chapter 850. I couldn't before, but I can now. That spirit gathering stone is with the level 10 cultivator in the middle, the intelligent war chariot replied. Oh. Su Chen nodded. Initially, he thought that the spirit gathering stone was an ownerless item, but now it seemed that those humans wanted to snatch the spirit gathering stone from the level 10 cultivator. However, no matter what, since they had met him, the spirit gathering stone had to belong to him. The intelligent war chariot descended from the sky and immediately attracted the attention of those humans. They all widened their eyes and looked at the intelligent war chariot cautiously. "Wait in the car, I'll go out and take a look." When the intelligent war chariot landed, Su Chen got out of the car alone. "Kid, what are you doing here? Get lost if you don't want to die." An old man with a face full of wrinkles relaxed when he saw that Su Chen was just a young man. He then scolded Su Chen. "Who do you think you are?" Su Chen snorted and turned to the level 10 cultivator who was surrounded. "You have a spirit gathering stone with you, right? Give it to me, I can help you deal with them." The level 10 cultivator who was surrounded was a middle-aged man with a dark complexion. After hearing Su Chen's words, his expression suddenly froze. One had to know that these people who surrounded him were all level 9 and above powerhouses. And Su Chen looked like he was not even 20 years old. How strong could a 20-year-old be? Who gave him the courage to say that? He was simply boasting shamelessly. Ha! Suddenly, there was a burst of wild laughter. Those people looked at Su Chen as if they were looking at an idiot. "Kid, where did you come from? Do you know who we are? And you're still trying to kill us? Is there something wrong with his brain?" A level 9 bald man mocked Su Chen mercilessly. "You're just a dead man, but you have a lot to say." Su Chen curled his lips and instantly released his mind power. There was a loud bang. The bald man didn't even have time to react before his head exploded, and he died on the spot. Hiss. Seeing this scene, the sound of people sucking in cold breaths could be heard from all around. You are a level 10 spirit reader master. The level 10 old man with wrinkles all over his face looked at Su Chen in shock. The bald man was a level 9 evolver, but he was killed in an instant without being able to put up a fight. It could be seen that Su Chen was definitely a level 10 spirit reader master. Spirit readers' attacks are known for their strangeness, killing people invisibly. When they found out that Su Chen was a level 10 spirit reader master, everyone present felt a strong psychological pressure. Su Chen ignored the level 10 elder and turned to the dark-skinned middle-aged man. Do you agree to my suggestion? The dark-skinned middle-aged man hesitated for a moment before he gritted his teeth and said, I agree. Su Chen is a 10 spirit reader master. This is what he did not expect. Moreover, Su Chen has always had a calm expression, as if he did not put everyone in his eyes at all. This is a display of extreme confidence in oneself. On the other hand, Su Chen has the confidence to kill everyone. He even suspected that if he did not hand over the spirit gathering stone, he would also be killed. Your choice is very wise. Su Chen praised and his gaze fell on the level 10 elder. Wait, I have something to say. When his gaze met with Su Chen's, the level 10 elder felt a fierce murderous aura pressing down on him, and his heart suddenly trembled. Although they are both level 10, the pressure that Su Chen brought to him was unprecedented. Under this pressure, he did not want to fight with Su Chen. Chapter 851. Too late. The corner of Su Chen's mouth twitched slightly as he released his mind power in an instant. Bang, 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 with a series of explosions, those level 9 cultivators all died with their heads exploding. At the critical moment, the level 10 elder took out a black shield and blocked the mind power's rampage. Just as the shield was about to explode, he turned around and fled. Still want to run? Su Chen smiled contemptuously as he raised his hand and threw out a Pegasus meteor punch. As 100 golden fist shadows fell, the level 10 elder was beaten to a pulp. Seeing this, the dark-skinned middle-aged man trembled violently. Su Chen had killed a level 10 evolver with a wave of his hand. His strength was something he had never seen before in his life. Moreover, he also realized that Su Chen was not only a high-level spirit reader master, but also a powerful evolver. What kind of monster is this in the world? The dark-skinned middle-aged man swallowed his saliva as his heart was filled with fear. Where's the thing? After killing the level 10 elder and the others, Su Chen seemed to have done something very ordinary. He walked straight to the dark-skinned middle-aged man and said lightly, Senior, this is the spirit-gathering stone. The dark-skinned middle-aged man quickly took out a piece of ore that was shining with blue light and respectfully handed it to Su Chen. Although Su Chen looked young, his strength was unusually strong. It was not an exaggeration to call him senior. Su Chen sized it up and said to the intelligent war chariot, Satoshi, is this a spirit-gathering stone? It is. The intelligent war chariot replied affirmatively. Su Chen put the spirit-gathering stone into his storage bag and turned to look at the dark-skinned middle-aged man. He asked, How should I address you? I am Zheng Tao. The dark-skinned middle-aged man replied with a trembling voice. Old Zheng, where did you get this spirit-gathering stone? Su Chen asked calmly. The 8 waste destruction flame and the bone chill netherworld flame were both waiting to be upgraded. One spirit-gathering stone was obviously not enough, so he wanted to follow the clues and see if he could get a few more. I found it in a mountain range not far away, Zheng Tao replied truthfully. Upon hearing this, Su Chen's eyes lit up. Since the spirit-gathering stone was mined from the mountain range, there should be more than one. Thinking of this, Su Chen said in a deep voice, Take me to that mountain range. I'll let you go once we get there. Zheng Tao hesitated and said, Senior, you can't go there. Su Chen frowned slightly and stared at Zheng Tao, waiting for his explanation. Zheng Tao knew that he wouldn't be able to leave if he didn't explain everything clearly, so he explained in detail. The people that Senior killed just now were from the Su family, and the mountain range here has been occupied by the Su family. You think those trash from the Su family can stop me? Su Chen lightly snorted, and a murderous aura quietly spread out, immediately pressing down on Zheng Tao to the point that he couldn't breathe. Senior, a saint-level ancestor of the Su family, is guarding the mountain range. Zheng Tao was afraid that Su Chen would be angry, so he quickly explained. There's actually a saint level? I'll take this opportunity to kill him. A cold light flashed in Su Chen's eyes. According to the information he had received, in the human race, other than the saint level from the Sun Moon Star Palace, all the other saint level experts wanted to kill him. Of course, he wouldn't let anyone who wanted to kill him go. Kill a saint-level expert? Zheng Tao was dumbfounded. Although a saint-level existence's cultivation would be suppressed on the continent, their strength was definitely not something a level 10 cultivator could compare to. Su Chen actually wanted to kill a saint-level expert. Wasn't he too bold? At this moment, he even thought that Su Chen had gone crazy. Chapter 852. Senior, please reconsider, Zheng Tao advised. In his opinion, no matter how strong Su Chen was, he would not be a match for a stage expert. If he were to follow them, he would definitely be implicated and fall into their trap. Just lead the way. Su Chen's face was cold as he carried Zheng Tao onto the intelligent war chariot. Senior, I'll lead the way. Put me down first. Zheng Tao was scared out of his wits. Su Chen threw him onto the chariot and said coldly, hurry up. Don't make me wait too long. Yes. Zheng Tao shuddered and hurriedly led the way. Then, the intelligent war chariot flew into the air and headed straight in one direction. Zheng Tao slowly recovered from his panic and secretly looked around. When he saw Qi Mufeng and the others and felt the aura from them, he shuddered all over. So many strong people. Zheng Tao clicked his tongue. The aura from Qi Mufeng and the others was unusually strong. It was not something he could compare with. This meant that everyone in the chariot was above level 10. With so many strong people together, even a stage expert would not dare to underestimate them. At this moment, he thought that Su Chen was not afraid of stage experts because he had so many strong people. Half an hour later, when the intelligent war chariot was about to fly to a mountain range, it warned, there are hundreds of cultivators ahead. There is a stage expert among them. Looks like it should be here. Su Chen pondered for a moment, then turned to ask Zheng Tao, Old Zheng, is this the place? Yes. Zheng Tao sighed. He had already guessed Su Chen's purpose. He must be here to snatch the spirit-gathering stones. In this way, a big battle was inevitable. It was hard to say whether they could survive. After confirming the specific location, Su Chen asked Swift Bird, Xiao Sun, sense if there are any more spirit-gathering stones in the mountain range below. Master, there are not only spirit-gathering stones but also wind spiritual stones, Swift Bird immediately replied. And the wind spirit stone? Su Chen was pleasantly surprised. Aside from the fact that he urgently needed the wind spirit stone, this trip was really worth it. Satoshi, get down. Su Chen could not wait any longer. The intelligent war chariot descended rapidly, and without any concealment, it fell directly into the crowd below. Who are you? After a brief moment of panic, the Su family below took out their weapons and surrounded the intelligent war chariot. They were well aware that the other party dared to barge into the territory of the Su clan. They were definitely not here with good intentions. Let's go down and take a look. Su Chen glanced outside, opened the car door, and walked out. Qi Mufeng and the others also got out of the car. Zheng Tao sighed and braced himself to get out of the car. Who are you? Do you know where this is? A stocky old man with a dignified aura walked out from the crowd of the Su family. This person was none other than the Su clan's saint stage expert, Su Lichong. He narrowed his eyes, glanced at Su Chen and the others, and shouted coldly. I heard that there are spirit-gathering stones here, so I came to take a look, Su Chen said very naturally. Came to take a look? A cold light suddenly shot out from Su Lichong's eyes, rushing straight at Su Chen. How could the Su clan allow outsiders to enter? Regardless of the background of Su Chen and the others, he planned to show them who was the boss first. Feeling a murderous aura coming at him, Su Chen released his pressure and easily crushed it. Then he stared at Su Lichong and snorted coldly, Old thing, if you dare to look at me like that again, I'll dig out your eyeballs. When Zheng Tao heard this, he was almost scared to death. Su Chen actually threatened to dig out the eyeballs of a saint-level expert. Wasn't he too arrogant? Chapter 853. How arrogant. Brat, are you **king courting death? The Su family disciples were all agitated and scolded. As a saint stage existence, how lofty was Su Lichong's status? How could he be threatened? It could be said that Su Chen's rude words had already sentenced him to death. They were only waiting for Su Lichong's order to swarm forward and completely crush Su Chen. Su Lichong took a deep breath and suppressed the anger in his heart. He said sternly, Kid, do you only know what kind of existence you're talking to? Su Chen's fearlessness made him feel apprehensive, so he was not in a hurry to make a move. Su Chen curled his lips and said disdainfully, Aren't you just a sage? What's there to show off? As soon as these words came out, the Su family members and Zheng Tao were dumbfounded. How powerful was a sage? Why did Su Chen say that he was no different from an ant? Su Lichong laughed instead of being angry. Kid, since you look down on me, do you dare to tell me your name? There must be something wrong when things were abnormal. Su Chen's abnormal behavior made him feel that something was wrong, so he wanted to know more about Su Chen's background. You should have heard of my name, and you should be very interested. Su Chen chuckled and continued, I am Su Chen. The human sage deliberately wanted to kill him, so he must have some understanding of him. Su Chen, Su Lichong muttered, but his expression suddenly changed. He is Su Chen. Zheng Tao's body trembled, and his eyes were full of deep respect when he looked at Su Chen. A person's reputation was like the shadow of a tree. In the past year, the most famous person in the human continent was Su Chen. Su Chen's name could be described as a thunderous roar. Everything he had done in the past year had caused a huge stir. There were even rumors that human and alien saint-level masters had joined forces to kill Su Chen, but after several attempts, not only had they failed to kill Su Chen, but they had also suffered heavy casualties. Even the Feng clan's ancestor and the Saint Realm gold-devouring beetles had died at the hands of Su Chen. Even a saint-level powerhouse wasn't a match for Su Chen. From this, one could see how terrifying Su Chen was. After knowing Su Chen's true identity, the arrogance of the Su clan members immediately vanished like smoke in thin air, and what replaced it was a deep sense of fear. It was rumored that not only was Su Chen unparalleled in strength, but he was also an expert in killing people. Killing without any hesitation, and no one could stop him. Up until now, countless powerhouses had died at his hands. He was worthy of being called the #1 killing god at that time. Just now, they had all spoken rudely to Su Chen. Based on Su Chen's style, would he take revenge on them? Immediately, all the Su clan members became uneasy, and Su Lichong was no exception. This was because he knew that his strength was on par with Feng Hexiang, and he was definitely no match for the Saint Realm gold-devouring beetles. On the other hand, Su Chen was someone who could even kill the Saint Realm gold-devouring beetles. Wouldn't killing him be an extremely easy task? Su Chen's reputation is truly resounding. Qi Mufeng sighed from the bottom of his heart. Su Chen's announcement of his name had suppressed the hundreds of Su clan members, including a Saint Realm expert, into silence. This showed how great Su Chen's influence on the human continent was. Su Chen, our Su clan has no enmity with you. If you want spirit-gathering stones, I'll give them to you. Su Lichong gritted his teeth and said. Since Su Chen was here for the spirit-gathering stones, he would give him everything. He shouldn't make things difficult for him, right? He gave in so easily. Qi Muxue was dumbfounded. A dignified saint-level powerhouse was actually so scared in front of Su Chen. It was really inconceivable. Chapter 854. I want the spirit-gathering stone, but I also want your life. Su Chen's face showed a trace of mockery. The human race's saint-level masters had joined hands to kill him, so he naturally had to eliminate them one by one. Hearing this, the Su family's members all retreated, their faces filled with extreme fear. Su Chen was an existence that could even kill a saint-level gold-devouring bug. Wouldn't killing them be as easy as crushing a group of ants? Su Chen, our Su family has more than one saint-level master. We also have a second-stage saint-level master. Do you really want to shed all pretense of cordiality with us? Su Lichong was aghast. Su Chen's fierce reputation had already scared him out of his wits, and he knew that he was definitely not Su Chen's match. In order to survive, he could only use the other saint-level master of the Su family to make Su Chen wary. It's not like I haven't killed a second-stage saint-level master before. Su Chen snorted disdainfully and waved his hand. Attack together, don't leave a single one alive. The elven sacred tree was a second-stage saint-level master, and he was definitely one of the stronger ones, but didn't he still die at his hands? The other side wanted to use that second-stage saint-level master to threaten him. How laughable. Kill. Qi Mufeng was the first to charge forward. Since he had become brothers with Su Chen, his brother's business was his business. It was his duty to kill the Su family. Wu Yazi and the others also attacked. You've gone too far. This old man will fight you to the death. Su Lichong roared angrily, and his aura became incomparably violent, as if he wanted to fight Su Chen to the death. However, the scene that appeared in the next moment left everyone dumbfounded. They saw Su Lichong take out a wing magic treasure, install it on his back, and quickly fly into the air. Su Chen, our Su family will repay today's hatred 100-fold. Just wait for our Su family's endless revenge. With that, the wings on Su Lichong's back flapped crazily as he shot off in a certain direction. Su Chen, drive your MCV and chase after him. Qi Mufeng reminded him. If you don't remove the roots when cutting weeds, the spring breeze will come and the wind will blow and grow again. Once Su Lichong escapes, there will be no end of trouble. He won't be able to escape. Su Chen's mouth twitched slightly. Then, under Qi Mufeng's astonished gaze, he walked into the air step by step. When it reached a certain height, it turned into a streak of light and chased after Su Lichong. Su Chen can still walk on air? Qi Muxue and Qi Muyu opened their mouths wide in disbelief. Su Chen's methods are truly endless. Qi Mufeng sighed and joined the hunting team. They were all powerhouses above level 10. Dealing with the Su family was as easy as chopping vegetables. In less than a minute, the hundreds of people from the Su family were all slaughtered. At this moment, a shrill scream came from afar. Not long after, they saw Su Chen rushing over from afar. It was obvious that the Su family's sage-level ancestor, Su Lichong, had died tragically at the hands of Su Chen. Witnessing all this, Zheng Tao was horrified. The Su clan, which had dominated Qingyun Island for many years, was destroyed so easily. At this moment, he clearly realized that the rumors about Su Chen were not exaggerated. In fact, they had underestimated Su Chen's strength. Not only did Su Chen easily kill a sage-level existence, but he also had many powerhouses around him. With such a powerful combination, who in the human world could compete with them? If they wanted to kill Su Chen, they would need all the top powerhouses in the human world. Chapter 855. Old Zheng, you can leave now. Su Chen said to Zheng Tao after he returned. Thank you, Senior. Zheng Tao felt as if he had been pardoned. He thanked Su Chen and ran away. At first, he was worried that Su Chen would kill him to silence him. However, Su Chen was a man of his word and did not make things difficult for him. After Zheng Tao left, Su Chen looked at the mountain in front of him. After thinking for a while, he said to the intelligent war chariot, Satoshi, can you sense the exact location of the spirit-gathering stones and wind spirit stones? Yes. The intelligent war chariot replied immediately. Su Chen nodded and opened the chaos space. He called Yang Hao and the rest out. Digging and mining or veins still required professionals. Yang Hao and the rest had done it a few times and had some experience. They were the most suitable candidates. Chen-gu, what's the plan? Chao Ran asked. Dig for ores. Su Chen replied and exchanged for a few super-electric drills. With one in each hand, they started digging. A day later, the digging was completed. In the end, they obtained 11 spirit-gathering stones and 2 wind spirit stones. In addition, Su Chen also found 2 spirit-gathering stones from Su Lichong. Now, they had 13 spirit-gathering stones. It was a great harvest. Behind them, Su Chen called for everyone to get into the car and continue their journey to the Yunluo Mountains. On the way, Su Chen opened the pet rearing space and talked to the 2 alien fires. Xiao Gu, Xiao Huang, are 10 spirit-gathering stones enough for you to reach level 10? Master, I have enough confidence to reach level 10 after swallowing 5, but the 8 waste destruction flame is almost there, the Bone Chill Nether Fire said. The Bone Chill Nether Fire was a level 10 alien fire before. However, it was badly damaged by Su Chen and dropped in level. It was indeed easier for it to regain its level. On the other hand, the 8 waste destruction flame was originally a level 8 mysterious flame. It was much more difficult to upgrade it. Lil Huang, how many do you need? Su Chen asked. He had a total of 13 of them. As long as the 8 waste destruction flame could reach level 10, it wouldn't matter if he used them all. Master, I need 6. The 8 waste destruction flame pondered for a moment before replying. To ensure the success rate, Su Chen directly gave the 8 waste destruction flame 7 spirit gathering stones. How long will it take for you to advance? Su Chen asked after giving away the spirit gathering stone. After we consume the spirit gathering stone, we will fall into a deep slumber. It will take at least 10 days. Netherworld Flame thought for a moment before replying. 10 days, Su Chen muttered and did not ask any more questions. He then closed the pet raising space. Then, he installed the 2 flying spirit stones on the intelligent war chariot, and ordered it to fly. 2 days later, when the intelligent war chariot was flying above a city, it was suddenly intercepted. It was a disc-like flying device that intercepted them. There was a cultivator above level 8 standing on each flying device. Everyone in the chariot, come out. A level 10 cultivator with a face full of stubble glanced at the intelligent war chariot. His eyes suddenly flashed with a touch of brilliance as he roared. What do you want? Su Chen opened the car door and asked with a cold face. When the bearded man saw that it was a young man who came out, he was instantly disdainful. He said arrogantly, Kid, do you know what the city below is called? What does it have to do with me? Su Chen said calmly. Chapter 856. Seeing Su Chen's disdainful expression, the bearded man's face darkened. He said coldly, This is Tianguang City, the territory of the Shi family. What's wrong with the territory of the Shi family? Su Chen was a little puzzled. He didn't burn, kill, or loot in Tianguang City. Why was the other party so angry as if he wanted to eat him? What's wrong? The bearded man's face showed a touch of anger. He snorted coldly and said, You have to follow our rules in our territory. Flying above Tianguang City is a big taboo. Oh. Su Chen came to a realization. He then chuckled and said, since I'm flying, what are you going to do? This is your first offense. Give me your aircraft as compensation, and I can spare your lives. The bearded man said matter-of-factly. The Sure family was a master of refining equipment. They were mainly famous for refining aircraft. However, they definitely couldn't refine a flying MCV. Therefore, when he saw the intelligent war chariot, he had the idea of snatching it. He had said so much in the beginning just to find an excuse. What if I don't give it to you? Su Chen wasn't angry. Instead, he laughed. In this world, he was the only one who could snatch from others. No one could snatch from him. He wanted to see how much courage the bearded man had. Since you don't know what's good for you, we can only use force. The bearded man snorted coldly. Then, he winked at a level 9 cultivator next to him. This level 9 cultivator understood tacitly. He drove the aircraft and quickly approached Su Chen. He was still shouting, "Kid, be careful in your next life. Don't offend the Sure family." The Sure family. I'm afraid they will be removed from the list again today. Wu Yazi and the others in the car all sneered. With Su Chen's style of doing things, no one who dared to provoke him would have a good ending. A mere Sure family dared to be arrogant in front of Su Chen. The consequences could be imagined. You don't know what's good for you. Just as the level 9 cultivator flew closer, Su Chen stepped out of the intelligent war chariot. He then released his mental strength and restrained the level 9 cultivator until he couldn't move. Then, he reached out and clamped his neck. He said mockingly, "Who did you ask to light your eyes?" Woo woo. The level 9 cultivator was so scared that his face turned pale, and his entire body started to tremble. It was only at this moment that he realized how terrifying Su Chen was. "Kid, put him down. Otherwise, I'll tear you to pieces." Seeing that his people were in danger, the bearded man roared angrily. "As you wish." The corners of Su Chen's lips curled up slightly. With a little force, he broke the neck of the level 9 cultivator and threw him down from the sky. Then, he turned to the bearded man and said calmly, "I have already let him go. Are you satisfied now? You're courting death." The bearded man could no longer contain the anger in his heart. He led a group of people and charged toward Su Chen. A look of contempt flashed across Su Chen's face. When the other side gathered together and joined forces to attack him, he raised his hand and threw out a Pegasus meteor punch. Bang, 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 in a series of collisions, except for the bearded man, all the Qi family members were blasted into smithereens, leaving behind clouds of blood mist that slowly drifted to the ground. Although the bearded man didn't die, he was severely injured. He was now lying on the aircraft, panting heavily. His eyes were filled with a deep layer of fear. Killing all the elites of the Sure family with a single punch. Only a saint-level expert could have such terrifying strength. Thinking that Su Chen could be a saint-level existence, the bearded man's heart sank to the bottom. Chapter 857. Senior, please spare my life. The Sure family will give you a satisfactory compensation. The bearded man knew that if he wanted to live, he had to beg for Su Chen's forgiveness. If I destroy the Sure family, won't everything be mine? Su Chen sneered and slowly walked toward the bearded man. Senior, you can't kill me. The Sure family also has a sage-level ancestor. Seeing that Su Chen was unmoved, the bearded man brought up the Sure family ancestor. His desire to live was very strong. Su Chen curled his lips and smiled. I forgot to tell you that I love killing sage-level people the most. Hearing this, the bearded man was stunned. Su Chen did not give him a chance to continue speaking. He stepped forward, stepped on the bearded man, and flew straight down. There was a loud bang. In the next moment, Su Chen stepped on the bearded man and hit the ground hard, creating a huge pit. The bearded man who fell into the huge pit was turned into a pile of meat paste. He couldn't be more dead. Behind, Su Chen called Wu Yazi and the others out of the car and opened the chaos space. He called Gu Tianhua and the others out and plundered Tianguang City. Anyone who tried to stop them was killed mercilessly. After wreaking havoc in Tianguang City and reaping a lot of wealth, they left. Back in the chaos space, Ling Mai sighed with emotion. No wonder junior brother Su is so rich. The others were deeply touched and nodded in agreement. Others would at most exterminate their family, but Su Chen plundered a city easily. How could he not be rich? After leaving Tianguang City, the intelligent war chariot flew for a day. When they passed by a large market, the swift bird found something good again. Master, there's a mechanical heart in the market, the swift bird shouted excitedly. Mechanical heart. Su Chen was instantly excited. What he lacked now was a mechanical heart. It was a good thing that money could not buy. Satoshi, land. Su Chen ordered immediately. Since the machinery heart had appeared in the bazaar, he had to get his hands on it. Originally, he planned to go alone, but Qi Muxue and Qi Muyu shamelessly insisted on following him. Living in the void, this was the first time they had seen such a large-scale market. They all wanted to follow along and experience it. Return immediately after obtaining the mechanical heart. Do not linger. Su Chen instructed and got out of the car. Don't worry, I won't cause you any trouble. Qi Muyu promised and followed closely behind Su Chen. Thousand Feather Island's Tiansang Plain also has such a large-scale market. However, compared to the Tiansang Plain, the scale of this place was obviously larger. There were also more things sold here, and the quality was also better. Su Chen didn't care about anything else. Under the guidance of the swift bird, he headed straight for a shop. Soon, they arrived in front of a store that sold ores. This shop sold many different types of ores, and Su Chen had seen some of them before. What would you like to order? The shop owner greeted them warmly. Su Chen glanced at it but did not find the mechanical heart. He said to the swift bird, Xiao Sun, which ore is it? The swift bird stretched out a claw, pointed to a millstone-sized black ore and said, Master, it's wrapped in that ore. Su Chen raised his eyebrows and said to the shop owner calmly, What's the price of that black ore? When the shop owner was about to reply, a handsome young man suddenly walked in front of him. When this person saw the swift bird, his eyes lit up and said to Su Chen, Friend, can you sell this spiritual pet to me? The price is negotiable. Chapter 858. Su Chen glanced at the handsome man and said coldly, Not for sale. Not only was the swift bird a level 8 beast, but it also had the ability to predict danger and find treasures. Only a fool would sell it. Hearing that, the handsome man's face suddenly darkened. He did not give up and said, Think about it again. Just tell me what you want. Get lost. Su Chen snorted softly and released a little pressure. Immediately, the handsome man was forced to take a few steps back. The handsome man's face turned red and white, and the corner of his mouth kept twitching. Although the anger in his heart had reached its peak, he knew that Su Chen was definitely a powerhouse, so he did not dare to say anything more. The commotion here immediately attracted the attention of many people. They gathered together and discussed in low voices. What kind of background does this young man have? He's really arrogant. He actually dared to scold Xiao Yu. Isn't he afraid of death? He must be an outsider who doesn't know Xiao Yu's background. But since he has offended Xiao Yu, I'm afraid it will be difficult for him to survive. Xiao Yu's father, Xiao Fei, is also in the market. He should be here soon. This young man is doomed. As a level 10 cultivator, Su Chen's hearing was very sharp. Naturally, he could hear the discussions around him clearly. However, he turned a deaf ear to them and continued to talk to the shop owner, I want that ore. How many energy stones? However, at this moment, Xiao Yu gave the shop owner a look. The latter understood and said with a smile, This ore is the treasure of our shop. We won't sell it no matter how many energy stones you have. But if you are really sincere in buying it, I can give you that spiritual pet of yours in exchange. Su Chen narrowed his eyes and sized up the shop owner. Then, he looked at Xiao Yu and said in a cold voice, "You ordered him to say that, right? Do you really want to die?" After being glanced at by Su Chen, Xiao Yu felt cold all over. However, he still gritted his teeth and said, "Kid, do you know who I am? How dare you threaten me?" Su Chen chuckled and instructed Qi Muxue, "Teach him a lesson. Remember to keep him alive." Qi Muxue didn't think too much about it. She rushed up and pressed Xiao Yu onto the ground to beat him up. As a level 10 practitioner, she knew her limits. She only broke half of Xiao Yu's bones and dragged him to Su Chen's feet like a dead dog. Witnessing this scene, the surrounding onlookers were inexplicably shocked. Xiao Yu was a level 6 cultivator, but he couldn't resist Qi Muxue at all. It could be seen that Qi Muxue was at least a level 7 cultivator. This girl is going to be in big trouble. Someone sighed. Xiao Yu's father, Xiao Fei, was a level 10 cultivator and was extremely protective of his children. How could he remain indifferent when his son was beaten to such a state in front of so many people? Everyone present unanimously believed that Su Chen and the other two would not be able to escape death. Moreover, they would be tortured to death. "All of you, just you wait. My father won't let you off." After being humiliated and beaten up in front of so many people, Xiao Yu was enraged to the extreme. He shouted at Su Chen loudly. Su Chen released his mental power and suppressed Xiao Yu to the point that he couldn't breathe. Then, he looked at Qi Muxue and smiled faintly. "Well done. You're worth nurturing." Hearing this, Qi Muxue's face turned ugly. She didn't feel anything when she was beating him up just now. However, she realized that something was wrong after the beating. Since when did she listen to Su Chen's words? She would do whatever Su Chen told her to do. It was as if she had become Su Chen's underling. Damn it! Qi Muxue screamed in her heart. Chapter 859. Are you still going to ask me for a spiritual pet? Su Chen turned to look at the shop owner with a mocking look on his face. "Senior, I'll give you the ores. I don't want anything else." The shop owner was so scared that he trembled and knelt on the ground with a thud. Su Chen even dared to teach Xiao Yu a lesson. Who was he to him? He might even be killed in an instant. "I don't care." Su Chen snorted and threw out a punch. A violent gust of wind swept past and instantly turned the shop owner into dust. Then, he released his mental strength and kept all the ores in his storage bag. He said to Qi Muxue, "Bring him back." Qi Muxue was furious. Su Chen was really ordering her around like a little brother. However, she did not dare to say anything in front of Su Chen. She obediently dragged Xiao Yu and followed behind. Unexpectedly, they had only taken a few steps when an angry roar came from behind them. "Let go of my son or I'll tear you into pieces." Su Chen stopped and looked behind him. He saw a middle-aged man who looked similar to Xiao Yu glaring at him. "Father, save me." Seeing that Xiao Fei had arrived, Xiao Yu roared. "I'll give you one more chance. Let go of my son immediately." Seeing that Xiao Yu was covered in injuries and being dragged around like a dog, Xiao Fei's eyes lit up. His eyes were emitting a strong murderous aura. "This guy's temper is quite bad," Su Chen muttered. He then said to Qi Muxue, "Xiao Qi, go and calm him down. It doesn't matter if you kill him." "Xiao Qi?" Qi Muxue took a deep breath. Su Chen was obviously younger than her, but he kept calling her Xiao Qi. Did he really order her around like a little brother? Qi Muyu smiled bitterly and said, "Let me do it." She could tell that Su Chen was deliberately teasing Qi Muxue. If Qi Muxue really fell out with Su Chen, she would be the one at a disadvantage. Qi Muyu had no choice but to help. "You can do it." Su Chen nodded. Qi Muyu was much stronger than Qi Muxue. It would be safer for her to take action. After getting Su Chen's permission, Qi Muyu moved and rushed towards Xiao Fei. "You're courting death." Seeing that Qi Muyu actually dared to attack him, Xiao Fei flew into a rage, and a ferocious expression appeared on his face. Just as Qi Muyu was about to close in, he suddenly threw out a punch. This punch was powerful and heavy, causing the void to tremble wherever it passed. Moreover, the fist wind also contained some spatial tearing power. It could be said that this punch had great destructive power. If an average level 10 cultivator were to encounter it, they would definitely suffer a lot. However, Qi Muyu was obviously not an average level 10 cultivator. With a swing of the silver scimitar in his hand, a spatial crack appeared in front of him. Not only did it shatter Xiao Fei's fist wind, but it also cut open a wound on Xiao Fei's fist. If Xiao Fei had not noticed that the situation was not good and retreated in time, his hand would have been crippled. "You actually have a space-sacred weapon." Xiao Fei took a few steps back and looked at Qi Muyu with lingering fear. Qi Muyu ignored him and continued to attack Xiao Fei with the scimitar in his hand. Seeing this, Xiao Fei's face was filled with viciousness. "Since you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish." Following a cold whistle, a golden book suddenly appeared above Xiao Fei's head. Then, the golden book slowly flipped to the first page, and the word "trapped" was clearly written on it. Trapped. At this moment, Xiao Fei pointed at Qi Muyu with a solemn expression and said sternly. Chapter 860. All of a sudden, a huge space-binding force squeezed Qi Muyu from all directions. Qi Muyu could not avoid it and kept waving the scimitar in his hand. Streaks of spatial cutting power densely covered the surroundings, but they were easily crushed by the compressed spatial force. Qi Muyu was shocked. Just as he was about to use other means, his body was bound and he could not move. At this moment, the golden book above Xiao Fei's head flipped again. When it reached the second page, the word "kill" appeared. "Die." Xiao Fei pointed at Qi Muyu and laughed grimly. The word "kill" on the golden book floated in mid-air and suddenly turned into a golden sword. It slashed at Qi Muyu's head. Qi Muyu was restricted and could not defend or avoid it. He looked at the golden sword slashing at him and his eyes were filled with despair. "Sister," Qi Muxue screamed at the top of her lungs. She had a close relationship with Qi Muyu. Of course, she did not want Qi Muyu to be killed on the spot. However, with her strength, she could not change the situation. "Don't worry, she won't die." Su Chen smiled faintly. With a sudden movement of his feet, he disappeared from the spot like a ghost. When he reappeared, he was already in front of Qi Muyu. "Su Chen," Qi Muyu looked at Su Chen in a daze. The panic in her heart dissipated at this moment. Su Chen's strength was unparalleled. As long as Su Chen was by her side, no one could kill her. At this moment, the golden sword in mid-air slashed down. Just as it was about to hit Su Chen's head, Su Chen activated the golden scale arm and clawed at it with one hand. "Hee hee. You're courting death." A cruel smile appeared at the corner of Xiao Fei's mouth. Su Chen dared to block the golden sword with his body. It was no different from hitting a rock with an egg. F***CK. Is this guy crazy? At the same time, there were gasps of surprise around them. They could not understand why Su Chen dared to grab the golden sword with his hand. In the next moment, the golden sword slashed hard on Su Chen's palm. There was a muffled sound of impact. But strangely, not only did the golden sword fail to break Su Chen's palm, it was even firmly grasped and unable to move. Oh my God! Why is his physical body so strong? Witnessing this scene, there were gasps of surprise. Hiss! Xiao Fei took a deep breath and his breathing became abnormally heavy. Su Chen's strength was unprecedented. At this moment, he even wanted to turn around and run. However, when he remembered that his son was still in the other party's hands, he braced himself and did not leave. This guy is ridiculously strong, of course. Chi Mushua had mixed feelings. Although he hated Su Chen, he had to admit that Su Chen was strong. Crack. A crisp sound was suddenly heard. Su Chen exerted force with one hand and crushed the golden sword. At the same time the golden sword shattered, the golden book above Xiao Fei's head exploded with a bang. Xiao Fei was shocked and furious. The golden book was a sacred weapon and Su Chen had destroyed it. At this moment, his heart was bleeding. At the same time, he realized that Su Chen was not someone he could fight against. Su Chen, thank you. With the destruction of the golden book, Chi Muyu regained her freedom and thanked Su Chen sincerely. If it was not for Su Chen's timely intervention, she would have been a dead soul under the sword. Chapter 861. You go back first. Leave this guy to me. Su Chen said in a low voice and then looked at Xiao Fei. Chi Muyu nodded and returned to Chi Mushua's side. When Xiao Fei was swept by Su Chen's gaze, he suddenly felt a chill run through his body. Friend, what do you want? Xiao Fei suppressed the fear in his heart and asked in a trembling voice. Kill you. Su Chen's voice was as cold as a glacier, without a trace of life. Kill me? Xiao Fei shivered and asked anxiously, You and I have no enmity. Why do you want to kill me? Knowing that he was no match for Su Chen, he tried to reason with Su Chen. Hee. Su Chen smiled contemptuously and said, Firstly, it was your son who offended me first. Secondly, I don't need a reason to kill. As long as I don't like you, you have to die. As soon as he said that, everyone was shocked. Don't need a reason to kill? Too arrogant. Too domineering. However, when this sentence came out of Su Chen's mouth, no one could refute it. The reason was that Su Chen's strength had shocked everyone. In their eyes, Su Chen was an invincible god of death. God of death. Buddha of death. If Su Chen wanted to kill someone, no one could stop him. The corner of Xiao Fei's mouth twitched. He pondered for a while and said, As long as you let us go, the Xiao family is willing to compensate you. No need. The corner of Su Chen's mouth twitched slightly, and he suddenly launched a drunken life. After dragging Xiao Fei into the dreamland, he threw out another Pegasus meteor punch. Violent golden fist shadows whizzed down and smashed onto Xiao Fei's body. Bang bang bang, with just 3 golden fist shadows, Xiao Fei was already smashed into pieces. By the time all the fist shadows had landed, the place where Xiao Fei was originally standing had been smashed into a deep pit that was several feet in size. My father is dead. Seeing this, Xiao Yu's face became deathly pale, his eyes were lifeless, and he looked as if he had lost his soul. The surrounding onlookers were all frightened. They looked at Su Chen with deep reverence. Su Chen sighed and turned back. He walked to Chi Mushua's side and whispered, Bring this trash along. After saying that, he walked towards the intelligent war chariot. This time, Chi Mushua did not complain at all. She dragged Xiao Yu and followed closely behind Su Chen. Back in the car, Su Chen was not in a hurry to leave. Instead, he interrogated Xiao Yu. Tell me, why did you snatch the swift bird? Su Chen glared at Xiao Yu and asked coldly. Since Xiao Yu insisted on the swift bird, he must have known the identity of the swift bird. Other than foreseeing danger, the swift bird also had the ability to search for treasures. Would Xiao Yu want to use the swift bird to search for treasures? It was because he had thought of this that he had spared Xiao Yu's life until now. Senior, someone found 2 immortal essence grasses in Mount Tuatsang, but they are very good at hiding. I wanted to use the swift bird to find them. Xiao Yu didn't dare to hide anything and honestly told the truth. As expected. Su Chen thought to himself, then asked, What is the immortal essence grass used for? Xiao Yu shook his head, I don't know what it is used for. I only know that it is very valuable. Even Sage-level powerhouses are buying it. If even Sage-level powerhouses were interested in it, the immortal essence grass must be extraordinary. When Su Chen was about to ask the longevity fruit tree, Qi Mufeng said, Su Chen, I have heard some rumors about the immortal essence grass. Su Chen's eyes lit up. He looked at Qi Mufeng and waited for his explanation. You're tuning in to the Dreamy Love Stories YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.